What up, Los? What up? We live, bruh.
What up, man? What's going on, bro?
Los did it. He made it happen. We're taking calls.
We're about to. We're going to get the intros going and get some stuff going. Then we'll turn on the hotlines. But that number's down below so you guys know. And welcome to the podcast. It is Sunday, March 5th. And it is what? 8/17th in the Eastern timeth of the CLE.
Oh my god, bro. Let me say hello to everybody. Yeah, man. What up, Mike? What up, Baby Yoda? Hashtag Mod Squad. What up, boys? Travis is in the house. David, Big Rick, what up? What up? Zero Cool is here. Zero Cool, you better call in tonight. Stop fronting, bro. We got Michael E. Joe Landy. Troy, what's up? Glad to have you. Yep, the cherry. That's right. Nathaniel, we in here. What's up, Bobby? Cosmic TJ, glad to have you all. We're taking calls. Hotline's open. 702-605-6551.
You want me to open the hotline right now, Sneed?
Go ahead, let's go in.
All right, I'm about to open it up. All right, guys, give me about a couple seconds. We'll open the hotline up.
With the skunk game, bro. What up, Danny? Texas Marine Joey. Questions, comments, and concerns, conversation. You guys can call in. The number is up 702-605-6551. We're taking calls.
Ready to connect. Click connect to show now.
You
are connected as the host. Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the Call-in Studio web interface.
There you go.
You know what I thought about? Baby. A lot of people got a lot of smack to talk about the SMT, right? The thongs, the lemmings. We've had that problem in the past, right?
This is their time to shine.
This is their time to shine. Come and tell me something. Because you know the SMT, bro. I want all the smoke.
Oh my god.
You know one time somebody said to me, you know what they said, Los?
What?
They said, you want some of this? I said, I want a lot of that.
Oh, here. So in case somebody doesn't want to call in through the call, there's the link right there. It's in the chat. You can actually phone in through the link too.
You can call in through the link.
Yeah. Crazy, huh?
Hey, big shout out to Brian. He was one of our callers on the last show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can call in and talk about files. Absolutely. Oh, snap. 5G pimping. Pimping or simping? What are we doing tonight?
Oh, damn. Yo, what's going on, man?
What's up, No Radio?
You're muted, by the way. There you go. What's going on, man?
What's up? What's up?
Let's get Weasel up in here, too. Let's see.
Oh, snap. We got a new member. Oceanic Vibes. What up? Hey, John. Good to have you.
Hotlines are open, guys. Remember, give us a holler. 702-605-6551. And also the link down in the chat will get you linked in with us too on the convo.
Yep.
So I got the truck driver's perspective.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second, guys. We got a caller. We got a caller calling in. Let's see here.
Make sure you give us your name and your state. And
all right, caller, you're on the air. Can we get your name and what state you represent?
Zero Cool. What up? You know who represents Zero Cool, man.
Zero Cool. What up, bro?
What's up, man?
What up, Sneed? What's up, guys?
First call of the evening from the Zero Cool, the man, the legend.
Yeah.
He's calling straight out of Scallops right now. That's where he's calling from.
Yo, Steve.
Oh,
what up?
I wish.
Apparently, T-Mobile is slacking in the Pensacola, Florida area.
Is that a known issue?
My brother-in-law just drove through there.
He just said it was trash.
He just made a whole U.S. route. He hit how many states did you hit? 25 states.
Damn.
On T-Mobile.
And that was the only issue? Was Pensacola?
Pensacola and West Virginia.
In the mountains area of Colorado.
West Virginia, isn't that Chantel?
Yep, Chantel. And he said that the mountain areas around Colorado were shit too.
I feel like nobody's winning there.
Other than that, it's been mostly smooth sailing.
That ain't bad, bro.
That ain't bad at all.
That ain't bad. I gotta call a spade a spade. Pensacola, a little bit of West Virginia. So mountains.
Yeah, the mountains were shit outside of Colorado.
Were there any other comparisons like AT&T, Verizon, or any of that?
What did your driver mate have?
Verizon.
He had Verizon. How was he?
He was bad for him too.
He said it was bad for him too. On Verizon.
See, that's what I figured. I figured it's just mountains. There's nothing you could do. There's just, how do you do the towers? Satellite.
Only thing you can do.
Yeah.
I was actually expecting to get a way worse report than that.
Yeah. I'm pleasantly surprised, bro. Keep it real. But there have been truckers who have adamantly told me, like, they just can't do T-Mobile, you know. And even sometimes they tell me, like, out west, AT&T's not good enough.
Not spots in Cali because of the mountains there. No.
You said some spots in Cali.
Yeah, because they got mountains there.
Yeah.
Well, guys, if you guys are want to get on this hot topic, give us a call, 702-605-6551.
What's the topic tonight?
Below. I don't know, bro. It's
you got beat.
It's whatever the community wants to talk about, bro. It's up to them, right, Sneed? I don't know. I mean,
I just made this a call-in show, so basically whatever they call in and say, we're just going in, you know.
Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about what's going to possibly happen on April Fools.
Are we going to get one of those Wi-Fi soccer balls from Sprint? Are they going to bring those out of retirement?
Shoot.
Yeah.
Nah, April Fool's, Brandon, you're going to meet a really hot chick, and then she's going to turn out to be Mitchell. April Fool.
Oh, damn, son.
You did him dirty like that on the podcast.
Listen, Brandon.
He gonna say, "What's your name, baby?" She gonna say, "Mordecai."
Yo, Chuck, use the link. Use the link right here. It's like 4 comments below. Brandon, always check the neck. Brandon, always check the neck before you know. All right, go ahead.
3, 2, 1. We're gonna let him in. Caller, you're on the stream. Can you give us a name and the state you represent?
Eddie, Texas Marine, and Houston, Texas.
Well, salute
Mr. Texas Marine. What is up, man?
Oh, I'm from Houston too.
Hey, Sneed. And Lowe's Abe, I love both of y'all channels. Info y'all gave is priceless.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hoorah,
and I got family in Cleveland also.
Big salute to the CLE fam. That's right, bro.
I'm mad about how y'all making all the callers in Skunk Ape. That's a damn shame.
Hey, I just want to tell y'all, I switched to T-Mobile because they offered me a Magenta military.
What's the price?
Didn't trust them at all. Had AT&T. I can say now, the Houston, San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, back to Houston corridor coverage matches AT&T to a T. I have no difference. And Dish is running strong in the Houston area.
How's
I got that S22 and it's running strong. I got both.
What part of Houston are you in?
I've lived from all the way out toward Katy. Now I live on the east side, close to Baytown. I got family down toward going toward Galveston, south side of Houston, and I got my grandson on the north side. I don't have a problem. I'm all over the city all day.
Wow.
It's not T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, but it does way better than Sprint did here.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So I
Ooh, Brandon.
use a hotspot at work.
But like I've said
So I use
before,
the hotspot at work.
T-Mobile is really good in Houston.
It's gotten better since the merger.
A lot
good,
better, dude.
now
Honestly,
it's on par.
Yes.
Okay, we got another caller coming in through the
Oh.
web. All right, we're gonna merge him into.
All right. Hey, I'm gonna go. Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
All right,
Texas Marine.
Texas
Salute
Marine.
to you, bro. Appreciate all that you do.
All right, hoorah, Marine. We appreciate you. And caller, you're on the line. Can you give us a name, and also can you give us a state you represent? Is he on there? Shows that he's connected. Says here from Missouri. That's what it says, Missouri.
Chuck, what up, bro?
What's up, Chuck?
What up?
How you doing, man?
Yeah.
Man, tell us something, man. You've been traveling these highways for years, man. Talk to us about your coverage, who you use, and who you
right.
trust.
I use Verizon. There ain't no one else.
You tried the others?
Right.
When was the most recent time you
I've
tried
used
other
them all.
carriers?
Verizon is the only one.
Chuck, when was
Yep.
the last time you tried any of the other guys?
The most recent was probably 2 years ago. Was T-Mobile. And recently I used Cricket as their test.
Mm-hmm. So tell me about T-Mobile when you used it 2 years ago. Where did you find weakness? Like which states, which segments of states were problematic?
Well, I used them in the Midwest. It was just basically like 50-50 whether or not it worked.
So map services, just regular app usage was unreliable?
I mean, use that as my primary phone.
Do you think the right type of phone matters? Like iPhone, Android, do you think any of that makes a difference with the experience on T-Mobile?
It does.
Oh, damn. Which phones were you using? You using the iPhone?
Yeah, it really does.
Oh, hold on.
You hear that 5G pimping? The phone matters, dog.
Yeah, with Samsung, would drop a lot of calls, but would get better data connectivity.
There's a question in the live chat. How is T-Mobile in the state of Ohio? It's pretty good. The speeds are really fast. The network is very modern. I think most of the whole like Sprint integration is mostly done. All of Cleveland is basically done. They started to upgrade sites with 10 gig backhaul, which is kind of cool. So I'm starting to see the gigabit speeds that a lot of people post. So that's kind of cool. The market share here is not that high. So for the most part, you got a lot of available capacity on here, right? So if you want a super fast and snappy carrier, T-Mobile can be a pretty good pick in Ohio. The website calling has higher latency versus calling the number listed on the banner. All right, good to know. Thanks for that update, Carlos. All right, so hit us on the phone call-in, 702-605-6551. Call us.
Yell at us, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the thongs to come in and go off. Like, this is their chance to call in, bro. You know, be like, you know what, Sneed? I don't like you, man. You're not very nice.
It's crazy. They got a lot to say until you give them a platform to say it.
Ooh, tell him.
Mike Seaver is the best CEO ever.
Listen, he sent me a pair of socks embroidered with my name. All right, that is a good man. You know what? I saw the SA was enabled on the new 16.4 update for the iPhone. I might give that a whirl. I might. Anybody try it yet?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, you want
All
your,
right, what do you say,
want your
bro?
battery to die faster?
So the legendary iPhone battery life will be in the pits.
Starts to kill it pretty quick, bro. Any phone in general, bro. Even my even the
Oh, my
S23
S22 was a
Ultra.
nightmare. Yeah, on the dish.
Bro, just SA in general, bro. Just nukes batteries.
John chimed in. He's getting the 5G UC on T-Mobile in Virginia. Yo, they still make those Virginia Slims, those long, skinny cigarettes. They still doing that?
I call them grandma killers.
Yo. But grandpa killers, what? Those are the Lucky Strikes, right? No filters?
Yo, my grandma used to smoke them Virginia Slims, bro. And if she wasn't smoking those, she was smoking Capri Menthol Lights.
Capri Menthol Lights, bro. She was on
things
them
are,
Salems.
them damn things are long as a Cadillac, man.
She was on them Salems and them Cools. Those
Nah,
menthols.
she was on them Capri Menthol, the long skinny cigarettes.
Oh my god.
And them, my grandma used to fall asleep with one in her hand and burn the carpet up.
Damn.
Do we still have Chuck on the line? Because it shows that he's still on the line here.
Yep.
Yo, Chuck, you there?
Yeah, I still am.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay. We're just wondering, bro. Just wondering.
Right.
What's up, Super 10? Thanks for commenting here tonight. Did you see the millimeter wave speed test I recorded? Pushing 3 gigs down and a half a gig up. I was impressed by the uplink. The 3 gigs down that's like normal at this point when we connect to millimeter wave, but the 500, 600, 700 meg up is wild. It's just crazy. And we still can't get more than like 40 megabits up on cable coaxial. You know what I'm saying? Some bull. You heard me, no radio? You heard me now?
Hey, I'm the HNIC in Dawson's Land. You better watch yourself.
Hey, they're talking like you're the plug, man. Get out of here.
Got this RG6 over here for you, dog. Got this RG6 for you, dog.
Brian's coming in for blood, bro. T-Mobile, aka Hack Mobile. All right, actually, let's do that. Let's take calls on that. For anybody that was impacted by any of the T-Mobile data breaches, call us in, talk to us, tell us about it. How were you impacted by the T-Mobile
Told
data
you my
breaches?
story.
Okay, go ahead, Chuck.
I told you my story.
Well, tell the audience,
I
bro.
spoke to on the Patreon. It was T-Mobile. Well, I got the account at Radio Shack, and they screwed up on my account. They put my street name as my name. And after a while, after these hacks started happening, I got on one of my credit notifications that one of my accounts have been compromised, and it showed up under that name, under my street name, under my name. So definitely, it's hit me.
Oh wow, that's crazy. And that's how you were able to narrow down where it came from.
Yep, because that's the only place that's ever did that. So I know my accounts. I've had multiple accounts with T-Mobile. All those notifications came out at the same time. That's how I knew it was definitely from T-Mobile.
Wow.
All right, do me a favor, folks. We have 72 people in the live chat. I need 72 likes. I need my engagement up. So to help out the SMT, it is very simple. Hit the like button, please. And if you really want to help out, you can share.
31.
I'm at 31 likes. I need more than that. All right, I got
35.
74 people. So I need people to like this video and then share it. If you got social media, if you got Instagram, Twitter, whatever, share it. Just get it out there. Help the video get happy in the YouTube algorithms. Additionally, if you want to support the SMT, I've been getting a lot of coffees from the nation. We've got the Buy Me a Coffee link. It's in the description if you guys want to support me that way. Big shout out to everybody who's already bought me a coffee before. I got like 15 supporters, so thank you guys so much. And one last thing, as we shout out to our partner, Mint Mobile, use the partner link in the description. You could save money on your wireless service and help out the SMT. All right, so if you want the T-Mobile network, but you don't want to get hacked, this reduces your risk.
Facts.
All right, so with those links in the description.
Facts, man. Let's get some callers in. Come on, man.
Troy.
With the AT&T network.
Troy, you can dislike too. It's the same. It's all engagement. You guys can give me middle fingers. I wish they had a middle finger one to rate the video. You know, I
You said,
wouldn't
hey,
mind,
you
bro.
love it. You still love her.
I swear I would not mind getting middle finger if it was engagement. You know, I don't care, bro.
Well, from what I've heard, the dislike actually helps you more than the likes help you. It pushes you forward in the algorithm.
They're like, oh man,
Guys.
this guy's getting people amped up, right?
Yep.
Oh, damn.
What
We
up,
got a
Austin?
caller call, but they skipped the auto screen. Huh.
Oh, and it accepted me very quickly. What's up, everyone?
Hey. What up, Austin?
All right, we got a caller calling in, guys. We're about to
Nothing much.
let him in.
Callers, when you call in, please let us know your name and your state.
Oh, never mind. They hung up. I don't know why they keep hanging up.
All right, well, when they hang up like that, we're going to turn the music up.
Damn, you got the good beats, and I'm not even in the studio. Darn it.
Well, you better turn those speakers up.
They're iPhone speakers, sir. I don't know how more loud I'm going to get them.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, we're going to get a caller on the line right here. Let's hear
All
it.
right,
Caller,
caller.
you're on the line. Can you state your name and the state you represent?
I cannot. I do not give out my name and state for privacy reasons.
Hey,
All right, Dave.
All right, Dave from Georgia.
Hey.
We done got your voice pattern match. We gonna get your.
We got your voice
Another
patterns.
call coming in, too. We got another call
What the
coming in
heck y'all
too.
think y'all doing?
What's going on, Dave? How you been, bro?
Hold on. Hey,
Dave,
caller.
Napoleon Dynamite
Been
brother.
all right.
Never mind. Go ahead.
Where's LaFonda at, Dave?
Huh?
Where's LaFonda?
Where's what now? I cannot understand you. I'm sorry, dude.
Bro, you got to put headphones on, bro. You hear feedback.
Maybe that's why, because I'm just using the regular built-in earpiece on the phone, so maybe that's why.
If you got a pair of headphones, that'll help a little bit.
Yeah, let me
Dave.
get
All right, so
let me
we
get
got,
some Bluetooth
we got
headphones
another
real
call
quick.
coming in. Here we go. Let's get this caller on the line. Caller, you're on the line. Can you please state your name and the state you represent?
As unhealthy as possible.
Caller, are you there?
Unhealthy as
I
possible.
skip lunch for this.
Oh, never mind.
There we
Hung
go.
up.
I got some headphones now.
Yeah, we know your voice pattern. It's
Man,
it's
I would have joined the Patreon stream, but apparently Sneed's got some sort of security measure on it where it requires a Facebook or a YouTube, and I don't have either.
Wait, a Facebook or YouTube on StreamYard?
Yeah, on StreamYard. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
a
so there's
filter.
you have a
some sort of
filtration.
security measure that's requiring me to have either a Facebook or a YouTube account, and I don't have either.
I don't understand. That's
I'm like, bro, am I gonna have to like unsubscribe from Patreon or something?
Hold on a second, guys. We got a call coming in. Caller, can you please state your name and the state you represent? You're on the air.
what up, Ricky?
He's
That
playing
was
with them
Ricky,
skunk
wasn't it?
eggs.
What the hell, bro?
It had to be.
Seriously? Wow.
It's
All right,
somebody
bro.
eating their phone.
So wait, there's no way
Hey,
to
what's
get
a skunk
onto a
ape?
StreamYard unless you have a YouTube or a Facebook?
You have the protection thing on.
Yeah, you have some sort of protection filter on or something.
Yeah, probably the
we,
filter.
we were able
it's
to,
on
but
ma-
not.
it's on mandatory. Hold on, we got a
Carlos,
call.
is there
coming
any
in
way
here
to work
from,
around that? Is there? I mean, just
Yeah.
All right, we'll
Yeah,
try to
bro.
figure it out.
Yeah. All right, hold on. We got a call coming in here. All right, caller, you're on the line. Can you say your name and what state you represent?
Damn, I'm
Okay.
getting a lot of troll calls.
Caller.
They say me trolling.
Well, they don't.
That's
wanna
what
say
no
that.
radio
We
does.
dropped
Come
the
on
call.
now.
There you go. There you go. We dropped the call. Then we got this person.
All right, hold on the calls, Los. I'm gonna answer
All right.
this question here. This statement.
All right, calls are on hold.
This is from Travis. Hey, Sneed, wanted to inform you that I got some message from that same person that proclaimed to be T-Mobile saying that I'm out of data. How come my data still works? That makes no sense. Read the notification carefully. Maybe you were just getting that deprio notification where after you've exceeded a certain amount of data usage within a billing period, they just indicate that you've reached that threshold. Therefore, if the network becomes congested, you'll be one of the users that's going to be deprioritized on the network, right? Momentarily, as long as that tower is getting strained.
I got an email from a Nigerian prince asking me to send him money. Should I?
You should.
Oh, yes, you definitely should.
Yeah, you definitely should.
Oh, and I was going to say no radio couldn't be prank calling us because he can't use a phone because it's a radio.
But he ain't got no radio.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Can't. That's why he can't call in.
Hey,
He's got a radio.
Dave, this is PG-13. You don't want me to go in on you.
Oh.
Can't use a phone
All right.
without being on the radio.
Carlos, what we're gonna do is we'll continue to take calls, but let's
You
just
wanna knock
let's just do one call at a time, please.
All right. Let's knock somebody. All right, guys. So, Mr. Zero Cool, we appreciate you calling in. We're gonna start isolating some of these calls now.
Let's see if we
This
can
is
figure
Mitch
out the whole, like,
McConnell.
StreamYard thing. Mitch McConnell.
All right, Mitch
really.
McConnell. We'll catch you later, man. Thank you for tuning in. You can listen to our beautiful hold
Bye.
music on your way out.
Hey, Ryan E. He's asking,
Mr.
do you think Hans at Verizon is out soon with the executives?
No.
Not really, because if you think about it, wouldn't have you already been shown the door by now? I mean, 2022 was a travesty, man. That was like the worst year ever at Verizon. So if that wasn't enough to give him the door, I don't know what is, man.
All right, Mr. Hold on, let's see here. Caller, you're on the line. Can you give us a name and state you represent? Hello, caller.
Busy, or not responding.
Okay, they're from Cali, so.
Drop some phone balls.
I don't know. Something's up with the calling tonight, Los.
It's people calling in and not saying nothing, bro. The how do you call it? They're just not saying nothing. All right, here we got a call coming in right here. There's the same people that keep calling in, bro. So let's see here. Hey, caller, you're on the live. Can you please state a name and say you represent?
What the hell?
See, bro? That's what they're doing, bro. So drop. No, now they're blocked. There you go.
Michael chimes in. Hans will be out when Warren Buffett takes all of investments out of Verizon. I believe he already did. Believe it already did.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, the institutional investor has begun to be frustrated with the big red.
Oh, yikes.
Hey, Sneed.
Mm-hmm.
Sneed.
When?
I got
Yes.
the drink of champions over here. I got me some iced coffee.
Oh, where in the
You got
heck
the
is
drink of
Rich at?
champions? What do you have?
Bro,
Got
iced
the drink
coffee
of
ain't the
champions. Iced coffee.
iced coffee ain't champions.
Yeah, let me get Chuck the invite.
Iced coffee's better than hot coffee.
No, man, I like hot coffee.
Oh, no, he tripping.
I mean, I'm from a
I mean,
cold
you don't
state.
want,
So...
you don't want hot coffee when it's freaking 80. You don't want hot coffee when it's 80 degrees outside.
Right. Yeah,
Man, I don't know where you're at if it's 80.
Like I'm not even kidding you. Our highs have been like 85, 86, 83 like all week.
All right, we're gonna switch topics because nobody really responded to the whole, call in about the T-Mobile data breaches. So here's what we're gonna do. Bryant says Hans isn't doing that bad. I disagree. I'm taking calls. Is Hans doing a good job, a bad job? How do you see it? Callers call in. The number is 702-605-6551. How is Hans doing?
Actually, I do have a comment.
Does he deserve a new pair of gaiters? Is what I want to know.
So I have a response to the previous topic and this topic actually. Then
We actually have a.
Go ahead, Dave.
We actually have
That's the case.
we have a caller. Let's see here. Caller, you're on the live. Can you state a name and the state you represent? Hello, caller. Are you there?
Man, if it's another California number and it don't say nothing, I have a suspicion.
I guess.
All right, Dave, go ahead.
All right. So
Caller.
So my thought is
Carlos,
on the
Dave is
T-Mobile
going enough.
on the T-Mobile data breaches. On the T-Mobile data breach side, that's why I'm on T-Mobile prepaid, and I don't even have my debit or credit card on the account anymore. What I'm doing is I'm paying my bill with crypto. So there's I'm buying a gift card, so there's nothing to steal. There ain't nothing to steal because I'm just using a gift card. So I don't have the debit or the credit card linked to the account. And
but your auto pay's ending.
I don't
apply
care.
to
I only pay
postpaid.
$15. So I don't care.
That only
That's
applies
only
to postpaid, Austin.
I'm on prepaid.
Oh, okay.
I'm on a $15 Connect plan. So no credit, no debit, nothing on the account for payment method. And as far as Hans getting new gators, nah, he don't need no new gators. He need to be shown the door. Don't let the door hit your rear end on the way out of the building.
So we have another caller calling in. Do you want me to let him in?
Let's do it. Caller, tell us your name and where you're calling from. Tell us the state.
All right, he's coming in right now. There you go. Go ahead, Steve.
Caller, your name and the state.
I like to fart.
More trolls.
Oh, I dropped them that quick, bro.
And the trolling continues.
All right, this is
Trolls, we're gonna send Mitchell to your
this
crib.
is devolved into nuttiness.
That must be where the pink thongs are.
All right, we got some legitimate comments in the live chat.
His voice was that high because that thong was in his crack.
Michael says, Hans, bad job. I can't even speak to a tier 2 tech to fix my fixed wireless signal. All right, so he's got some variation of the 5G home, whether it's the millimeter wave or the C-band. But so if it's a tier 2 tech, are you thinking that you have an issue with your gateway? Because the only option at that point is to just get you a new gateway, right? They'll send you a new one, and then you ship back the old one in the box they send you.
All right, Sneed, I got a caller on the line, different number. You want me to let him in?
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Callers on the line. Caller, you want to say name and represent the state you represent?
Yeah, man. Put it right in the phone.
Caller, are you there?
Am I like one of the only legitimate callers tonight?
I swear it's
You guys think there's a technical aspect to this that's like a hiccup?
No.
Yeah,
Nope.
I think it's trolls.
Caller area code 424. Nope.
Sean, you can hit us on the call-in
It
number
seems like I've been the only legitimate caller all night.
702-605-6551. Number is scrolling at the bottom of the screen.
Caller area code 747. State your name and the state you represent.
Damn, my super chat that I just got charged for didn't go through until today, Sneed, and I chatted that on Friday.
Well, thanks for the super chat, Austin.
I like
Appreciate
to
it.
fart. Woo!
Oh my god.
Bro,
Hey,
are you serious?
what's the troll's number so we could just spam their phone?
Here, block. No, don't worry. We can ban it. There you go, ban.
They just get a new number, Carlos. Come on.
Yep. That's crazy.
They're probably using Google Voice just like you are.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, they're not
Meet
using
Tana's
Google
here.
Voice, Dan. Nice try.
Yo, Tana, we're just grooving, bro. Sunday stream, man.
Yo, Tana, you gonna get on this call or what, bro?
Yo, big shout out to Tana on the instrumentals.
Those are good beats, by the way.
There's the man, the myth, the legend. Tana's so lit. All flames, bro.
Yeah.
Look, Tana, I heard when you were in the studio, when you were in the lab making these, that a fire engineer had to be present for the entire session.
Oh, somebody's calling about Hans. We're gonna let him on the line.
Ooh, they're gonna go in on Hans. Let's see.
Is this?
Hey, how's
Hi,
it going,
caller.
Lo?
You're on the live.
Hey, this is Nimmer. I actually wanted to make sure you guys' line worked without having farting noises.
Hey, Nimmer, what's up, bro?
Nimmer? What's up, boy? Miss you, man.
Hey, how's
How
it
you
going?
been?
How's it
Apparently
going?
it does.
Good, man.
Good,
We
good.
miss you, bro. How you been?
Well, doing all right, doing all right. At least we know this line works without having farting people coming on.
Thanks for confirming that for us, bro.
Hey, they're not
calling
using
in.
Google Voice and they're not using T-Mobile.
Ooh.
Hey,
Hold on a
I
second.
found
I'm
their
gonna let this other
profile
caller
pic.
in too.
Right.
This other caller is calling in from.
Hey, I'm using
Sean.
T-Mobile.
Sean, you're on the
What's wrong with
line.
T-Mobile?
You're on the live stream.
What's good, guys? What's good?
So we got Sean, we got Nimmer, and then we got Dave. What's going on? So we got 3 callers on the line.
What's up? Orlando, Florida, right here.
What's up, Sean? How you doing?
Yeah.
I tell you what,
Orlando,
I can't wait.
Orlando.
I cannot wait for Hans to go, personally. I don't know if they
Orlando,
will get rid of
Florida.
him, but he needs to go.
Florida. Sneed, how you pronounce Orlando, Florida?
Oh yeah, I mean, Orlando, Florida.
Exactly.
So, Sean, tell me
No,
about
but-
your
With
gripe,
respect
man.
to-
What's he doing wrong?
I don't know. I think they've gotten less and less consumer friendly over the years. I mean, and now we can see T-Mobile doing the same. I understand it's cost cutting, but my biggest gripe with Verizon going back maybe 2 years ago is when they implemented the, you can only pay with a debit card versus credit card.
Yes.
And then by doing so, it takes off your pay. And now I see that T-Mobile starting to do the same. And to me, that's very anti-consumer, right? I understand it's at 3%, but they're trying to get their money which way in there. However, a lot of customers, just especially nowadays, who pay online, use their credit card for obvious security reasons. Take the T-Mobile data breaches as an example, right? Are you going to want to use your credit card for a company that's been subject to a lot of breaches? Boost Infinite lately. I mean, it's common practice for people to use a credit card. So for me, that was the first thing Verizon did that really went anti-consumer.
Yeah, that's my biggest gripe.
Then,
with Verizon. Yeah, it's because with my credit cards, I could get extra points bonuses for paying my phone bill with them, but then I lose that in exchange for the auto pay discount.
Yeah, I mean, and not only that, I think their management's lost, sight. I think they gotten way too complex with the plans. They gone, play more, do more, get more. Verizon One Unlimited. I mean, honestly, it should just be simplified across the board.
Play more, do more, wank more.
Why do you need to do versus play? They're the exact same plan, except one you get, like, I think 50% off an extra device or a paired device. I mean, in honesty, I think they just need to simplify things across the board and start becoming more consumer friendly. And then if they do that, things I think will even out. Simplify things across the board and start becoming more consumer friendly.
Got an echo or something?
Is that an echo? We got somebody listening to the podcast at the same time.
Verizon wank more plan.
Lando, you're on the call. You're on the live. How are you doing? Says Lando from Florida.
Oh, this is Donald from Northwest Illinois.
Oh, okay. The automatic thing got confused. So what's up, bro?
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. I better mute the TV. Okay, good. I muted that so that you don't get too much feedback. I forgot to mention that I'm glad that T-Mobile killed off the Sprint network, because every time I've dealt with those MVNOs for years, those things would get hot as hell. So they literally were fired.
Burning flames. Cool.
Fire Mobile.
Fire Mobile.
Or a phone. In fact, I kept having to complain to FCC because the phones would act up because network was possessed or something. The only time I didn't have a crappy experience with something that would act like it was on fire was because there was a business Sprint tablet line. But that's Grandpa paid for that. But since he is no longer with us, that is gone. But the tablet broke. Otherwise, I might have still be using it because it was pretty good for checking emails.
The best thing to do when Sprint was around was force roam onto Verizon.
Oh, yeah, it would randomly roam just during a rainstorm, so that's pretty bad.
Since they had Verizon, like nationwide roaming, went for that little bit of time that I had Sprint, I would just force my phone over to Verizon roaming on purpose so that I knew I'd have service.
Yeah, Virgin Mobile didn't do forced roaming as far as I know. But I'm glad they're gone before they managed to burn people's houses down with their hotspots.
Oh dang!
Donald always coming in with the burners, man.
You'd have to sprint out of your burning house because of the hotspot.
Oh damn!
Oh dang!
That brings you meaning to the term hotspot.
One of my favorite lines I always used to use: "You better sprint away from Sprint."
Oh damn! Oh, yeah, by the way, Chuck, tell me about your fish tank, man. What do you got there? What's swimming in there?
I got a turtle in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those fish in there, they were food for maybe 4 months ago. She never ate them, and they grew big now, so now there's fish in there.
The hell they eating?
They're just eating probably the turtle's poop.
Yeah.
They're scavengers, so.
Hey, it's an ecosystem now.
Yep.
At work.
Yeah, Sneed, we have a caller behind the scenes named Jack from Connecticut. You want to let him on?
Right. Yeah. Hey, Jack. Come on in and give us your comments or your questions.
All right, Jack from Connecticut.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Hey, Jack.
Oh, Jack.
Yes.
Hey, Jack. What's on your mind, man? Anything you want to comment or ask a question or speak on any of the topics we've discussed? Were you ever impacted by the T-Mobile data breaches, or do you have any comment on what Hans is doing as a CEO of Verizon?
I think the CEO of Verizon is a real good guy.
Oh,
really?
Okay.
Really?
Are you speaking from like his performance as the CEO, or do you just think he's a nice guy in general?
Both.
Both. Okay. So you approve of how he's been doing recently with in terms of his, I don't know, the success of the company, the direction that they're going. Do you approve?
I highly approve.
All right. So no, you don't think that there should be
One,
changes at Verizon. You think everything should just continue as is?
Well, the marketing schemes could use a bit of change, and rather than that, everything should be, good.
All right, that's an interesting take. See, I think a lot of people agree that the marketing really has been kind of boring and has not really been effective. So I think a lot of people would agree. Do you think that they're price competitive? Do you think that they're, unlimited plan pricing, their promotional activity? You think all that's good for the market? They're competing?
Well, it has its benefits and disadvantages.
What do you think about the network? How is that in your experience and your usage?
Well, as a Verizon customer, I think the network is fantastic.
And you're in Connecticut, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't really heard anybody ever say anything bad about Verizon in Connecticut now that I think about it. So you would say that the network is worth every penny that you would be paying for it. It's reliable. It's fast enough. It's available. It's been good for you.
Oh, yes. I like to fart. Woo-hoo!
Oh, you got hit again with the trolls.
Wow, bro, that is crazy.
Oh.
That's messed up, dude.
Yeah. Oh, I
knew it
did
was
notice
trolling.
one thing about Verizon. It has the pricing of the Get More is the same as the Magenta MAX. So you might as well just go with Get More so that you'll have less hacks.
I don't know if people really care all that much about the hacks anymore, Donald. They just don't
they
seem
don't.
to.
No, they don't. I don't care. Me and Sneed were talking behind closed doors about it.
Yeah, if they want to stick with T-Mobile, they could just pay cash, and then they won't have to worry about their credit cards or debit cards getting robbed blind.
That's what I do, pretty much.
Yeah, it kind of sucks, man.
And,
I was gonna say the people that had to move from a credit card to a checking account are probably not looking to make that move, right? They're probably not trying to get their checking
have a
account.
burner check.
Well, yeah, but that creates another step, right? So, like, the question becomes, when did T-Mobile start being in the business of creating customer pain points after, for the last 10 years, they were trying to solve and address customer pain points? Now they're creating them.
When sweaty armpits took over?
Right.
Yeah. It's a good thing I can open a checking over that member's line if I needed to.
Go wash them armpits. You won't get a wife otherwise.
Oh.
Sounds like you're speaking from personal experience.
Nah, man. Nah. You got me all kinds of twisted.
Oh. Okay. Oh, I did notice that Verizon gave better upload at Sam's Club today. Better than AT&T. AT&T was down to like 0.72 or something like that. And Verizon was stable on both down and up at 2.5 for the down and 2.82 for the up. So at least it had at least it's usable for app use. It's a good thing it's a prioritized line. Otherwise, it probably would be unusable.
Well, Donald, I was going to ask you: is it a signal issue? Because some of those buildings are it's tough to get a signal inside.
I'm thinking that maybe the particular metal and stuff may be interacting poorly with N77 and N5, but LTE was given consistent down and up at that just under 3 megs down and up. So it's probably
I think a lot of people are looking for stability, like you said. They'll take a couple megabits as long as it works.
I mean,
at home, I need Verizon because the only other carriers, I'm lucky if it doesn't drop to 0 on the upload. So
Tower sites far?
Verizon seems to be. I don't know. AT&T. I'm lucky if I get 3 down at times on 5G, and the LTE would be 2G. So I'm lucky that I just swapped AT&T over because the U.S. Cellular is working just fine on the LTE phone.
So, Donald, are you in like the Rocky Mountains or something? How are you having such a hard time getting a signal, man?
I don't know, but in the movie theater, I was getting 156 down by about 20 or 30 up. So
on
it works
the Verizon?
good in the movie theaters. So, yep, on Verizon.
What you do is you get one of those. What you do is you get one of those cell boosters and put it up on a tower like 50 feet above your house.
Oh, my house actually is pretty good in terms of speed. I've seen worse speeds on my Xfinity, believe me.
I don't even want to talk about Xfinity.
I was gonna say, I think Dennis loves him some Xfinity, doesn't he?
I don't even want to talk about Xfinity.
I'd rather not talk about Xfinity either.
Yeah.
It makes me sad.
It's bad that they had to change their name to protect the guilty.
They didn't change nothing to protect nothing.
I disagree, Brian. I think Verizon needs 2 plans. I don't think they need 5 plans or 6 plans, whatever they got.
I agree, Sneed. When they had the mix and match and the mix and match only, it was fine, right? But now they have the mix and match and the Welcome Unlimited and the one unlimited for iPhone. Like, dude, you look at their website and on top of all of these limited time promos that they're running on these plans that you only get when you do a certain type of activation, it's like choice paralysis. If I was a customer and I had no clue, like no knowledge of the industry, I'd look at that website and be like, "What the heck is going on here?"
I just want an unlimited data plan.
Verizon does need 2 plans. Verizon does need 2 plans. They need one plan that's $15 and gives you unlimited talk, text, and 5 gigs of data, high-speed data with 512 KB after that. And then they need a fake unlimited plan for all the rest of. They need a fake unlimited plan for all the rest of you people that spend way too much money on cell phone service.
Bro, literally, are we in 2008 or are we in 2023? Come on, man.
Oh yeah,
come on, man. Let's go.
That might be important. After moving the AT&T eSIM over to my iPhone 13 Pro Max, I haven't noticed any call quality issues. So it might not play nicely with older iPhones.
Yeah.
So people might want to get
As
a
I was
5G
saying earlier,
phone if they're having.
Device matters on a network.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. I'm on a 2021 device.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier with Samsung.
T-Mobile quality was on an iPhone 13 Pro Max. So I guess even 13 Pro Max can hold up an inferior company's infrastructure pretty well.
Man, I know this needs someone's out there
I'm
twerking
surprised.
to this music.
I'm surprised you can get anything good on an Apple.
Okay, Mr. Anti-everything.
Yeah, literally.
No,
offense.
I am not anti-everything.
No
Thank
offense,
you very
sir.
much.
Dave, I heard that you refuse to feed
I
the
am
ducks.
not
Bro. Is that
anti-
true?
Oh.
Dave, all the respect to you for your emphasis on privacy, but like that doesn't mean that some of us who may not give two hoots can't have an iPhone, bro.
No, that's not even about privacy. That's just that Apple's a piece of shit.
Bro, there goes the PG-13.
Yep, we got to change the rating on the live stream.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. It's
Sorry, my bad.
It's okay.
My bad.
You're good, bro.
Man, it was. He told me to call, so I'm calling in. What the heck? Did somebody tell somebody to call in?
There's this show called Free Talk Live that when you swear on the air or something, since they're on broadcast radio, they have to edit it out, and they have like this they have like a toilet flushing sound, and
That's what I need. I need some kind
and
of
then
a.
they do like those. Some sort of like editor thing.
Bro, crazy, man.
Man, I just don't look forward to later on tonight. I gotta work on routers because some of my stuff's really messed up.
Hey, so Mr. Dave, you're in here, right?
Yep.
So you said you like to pay your bills with cryptocurrency, right?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So how do you like
Let's see
using
where this goes.
since you like to and I respect that you want to keep your privacy, you feel me? Which I respect. But why would you use a system that was designed by the NSA, the 256 SSH
I don't-
encryption key that they know who it came from?
I don't use Bitcoin.
It doesn't
I
matter.
don't
You
use
use
Bitcoin.
Litecoin, Dogecoin, don't matter which coin you use. You can use the coin, Sneed coin, don't matter which
Nope,
coin.
Monero.
Sneed coin.
Sneed
Oh.
We need some Sneed coin.
Even
Sneed coins.
even Monero, all of them have the same encryption that can be tracked.
Monero is not traceable.
If that's
Monero
what you
is not
think, sure.
traceable.
I mean, sure. I mean, I got oceanfront property in Ohio, bro.
How much?
There you go. Good.
I'll give you $5.
How
for
much?
it.
Because I want it.
Well, it's over there in East Palestine, bro.
Oh, come on, Lowe's. Come on, son.
No.
I got oceanfront property in New Mexico too.
Oh, nice.
There you go. No, I got some oceanfront property on the moon.
Oh wow, how is it? You got some water yet?
It's nice.
That must be
Yeah, for the
expensive
space ladies
commute.
twerking.
Having a nice low gravity swim.
Well, does it take your breath away?
It does.
Oh, that's messed up.
How much do you spend on gas on your
vacuums all your
commute?
energy right away.
Man, that's
Hey, Dave, are you still on the T-Mobile Home Internet, or did you switch away back to cable?
No, I'm on Comcast because it wasn't doing very well in my area.
Oh, Comcast.
Well,
no.
I would definitely go back. Like, I would definitely go back in a couple of years, or if I move again, just to see if it works better. But I moved to a house, and when I moved to this house, like this area, I guess, has a lot of T-Mobile customers or something, because it would deprioritize to hell and back. I mean, it
What
was
was
really
your-
bad.
What's your mobile
Sounds
performance
like
like?
you'd only go back if you had a bad cable outage, and yeah, because if you had a real bad cable outage, anything's probably better than nothing.
Hey, Dave, you know what you should do? You should go.
Well, like, it was.
You should get AT&T Fiber with the ACP program.
No, I would never get AT&T anything. AT&T is garbage. Garbage.
You sound like Ricky now.
AT&T's giving me a good
Verizon
fiber
had-
experience, honestly, man.
Yeah, AT&T's giving me good experience.
AT&T is a horrible company, and I don't recommend anybody ever spend money with them.
Oh,
All right, Dave's going in,
Get
folks.
ACP on.
So you got your billing under control?
Oh. Hey,
Sneed, bro, I hate AT&T.
Sneed, you know how you told me to use T-Mobile when I went to that event on Saturday when I was on your stream Friday?
Yeah.
Man, me and you gonna have to throw hands soon because that was trash. That was trash.
Come on, bro. Why you gotta beat me up, man? I'm a
bro,
nice
he's
guy.
gonna put you in a
That's what the TNT
put you in a
Mobile
Peruvian
stands for.
necktie, bro.
Trash.
No. So I literally only got 40 megabits down, and I still couldn't load Google.com.
On which carrier?
T-Mobile.
What connection were you on? Which
He's
channel?
gonna put you in a Peruvian necktie, bro. You try to throw hands with him.
You're on LTE?
Yeah, there was no N41. It was all just LTE inside the school, and the only thing that was actually very usable was AT&T, doing 200 down.
That's interesting. I mean, I've had some issues with T-Mobile on video calling. But that's really the only the major issue I've had. The dropped FaceTime calls. Outside of that,
No, because I was
work.
trying to load something. I don't remember what it was now, but I was trying to use it for something and I couldn't use it. I had to switch over. I switched over to Verizon. Verizon was doing okay, but when it came down to what I had an hour and a half to kill. When it came down to HD streaming quality stuff, I had to use AT&T.
What was the event? Was there congestion? Was there something going on?
Yeah, as the event got started, T-Mobile and Verizon started falling apart even more.
Yeah, market share, dude, matters. Sometimes it's better to have access to the network with less people on it.
I think there was an inside system too, like with N5, on the 5G side.
For Verizon?
No, AT&T, because I was getting full service, and when I was in the gymnasium, my speeds would go up, but then when I went out into the main hallway and then go outside, switching between M5 and then 5G plus, it would actually slow down and then come back up.
Oh, by the way, this is just conversation that me and EM Tech were having, kind of backstage in the Googles, and we were in agreement. We feel that people that don't have accounts with carriers cannot objectively evaluate the carrier.
Facts.
With respect to testing the network,
I would
evaluating
agree.
the performance. So there are a lot of people who will say things like,
I would
"Oh,
agree.
AT&T sucks, but they don't have a line." They could speak to what they have, of course, and it's valid. A lot of people say the word anecdotal all the damn time, but it's their usage, so it's their world. It's what they use, But and they're evaluating it accordingly. So, in that case, your opinion, your experience matters with respect to your usage on that carrier. But if you don't have an account with the others and you don't use the other networks, how do you properly and objectively evaluate it?
Yep.
If your hard-earned dollars
to be
aren't
fair,
coming
my
out
venom
of...
for AT&T.
Go ahead again.
Go ahead, Dave.
Free trials are a great way to get new customers that might be paralyzed with fear and not wanting to commit to something unless they can try it first.
To be fair, my venom with AT&T is pretty old, and I haven't given them money since 2015.
Yeah, and that's your prerogative.
Yeah.
If you choose as a consumer not to give them money, that's fine, right? But if you're gonna sit here and loudmouthly, just constantly bash a company that you don't even pay money to every month for the service, why does your opinion matter? You're not giving them any money.
Honestly,
I'm sorry. There's a lot of people out there.
I don't even have a phone that supports AT&T.
Yeah, and that's fine. But there's so many people out there that sit here.
Support AT&T.
They sit here and they complain about something that they're not paying for. They're riding on a T-Mobile test drive or a Verizon free trial talking about how crappy the network is. Bro, if you want improvements, you got to pay for the service. The stuff ain't free.
If you're on a test drive, you're still seeing the network for what it is.
AM, what about the visibles of the world?
I really
what about the
enjoyed-
visibles of the world?
No, bro.
I
If
mean,
you're using
I
that's
visible,
the
didn't
point
have
of
it
the
for very long, but
test
I did.
drive.
yeah, I understand that's the point of the test drive. But if you're going to sit here and loudmouth and bash these companies, like if it's not good in your area, it's not good in your area.
I mean, yeah, that's going to be every carrier. Every carrier has their areas and their weak areas as well.
Exactly.
So,
like,
but what
yeah,
I'm
like-
saying is there's a very
had
small
visible-
minority of the community and on Twitter and wherever that they don't pay for service. You should be thankful that your mom, your grandma, or whoever's paying for your phone bill, and that's the end of it. If it doesn't work, go pay for it yourself.
Yeah.
And if you're using an MVNO like Visible or like Cricket or Metro,
that's
your
gonna give you
experience does not.
Yeah, it's not the true experience. You're on a D-Prio experience.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
I really
I'm
enjoyed-
not targeting anyone. I'm not calling anybody out. But like everyone here on this panel, especially Los, especially Sneed, and Austin, I know for sure, have paid for lines out of their own pocket for all these carriers, including myself. Like we have a.
I mean, not a lot
I
of
have
time, but I've been with every carrier.
I have 5
Hey,
lines
guys.
I pay for. 3
Yeah, I-
T-Mobile and
so-
an AT&T and Verizon.
Hold on, guys. We got 2 callers on. We got Christopher from California, and then we got Derek
Another
from South
California
Carolina.
troll?
No.
I want to get them on and see what's up. So I'm going to put you guys that are on the call right now on hold real quick, and let me get them on the line and hear them out real quick. All right.
Yep.
Please hold while you and enjoy this music.
Let's see here. Call. Thank you.
That's exactly what happens.
All right, Christopher from California. How are you doing tonight? You're live on the show.
I'm doing amazing. How about you?
All right. How can we? You got anything you want to drop at us, or any questions?
I like to take.
Oh no!
There we go. God,
I
bro.
knew based on how hesitant he was, I knew it was a troll.
Hi, Derek from South Carolina. How can we help you today? I saw that you were asking about the topic.
Hey, yes. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out with the carriers and everything. It seems like people start kind of treating them like a sports team. You know, like I'm a little confused as to why they do that, because none of the companies are, Yeah,
Especially
I mean,
when you start getting jerseys
I use
carrier.
Yeah. But yeah, I just don't quite get it. I used T-Mobile last year, and I switched to Spectrum Mobile recently. And I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not a Charter fan. I don't like Charter or anything like that. But hey, they had a deal going on with the phone, so went ahead and signed up. But I guess I don't quite understand why people kind of treat them like sports teams.
They do that with everything nowadays, though.
Yeah, people like to rally behind whatever they can rally behind, and I don't know why, it's become like a competition, and for some reason people have these undying loyalties to these telco companies that all they want is your money. Like,
well, hold on, EM, I'm going to push back a little bit. The personal identity development, the affinity, the protection, it's mostly from one carrier.
It's true.
We were talking about these carriers, and I almost called my.
I mean,
cat
most
AT&T.
of it's coming from that side. I don't really see the same type of, like the knights, the protection. They could do no wrong. It's like family. I see most of it coming from that side, and I think it goes back to the John Leisure era, where it was us against the world and me against the world, and the marketing. I mean, he created a brand using a color, using a motto, and his image, and it was like people were sick and tired of getting jerked around by AT&T and Verizon, so he capitalized on that opportunity by being uncarrier, and like people started creating personal identities to it, right? And not that I don't care what people do per se, but the problem is when you can't criticize a corporation or a company, I think you're missing the point of consumerism. You've now become a problem. You're anti-consumer if you become pro-corporation. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's become an issue, actually.
Yeah, this undying, like, just devotion to a company. I don't understand it, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, unless you work for them, unless you're working for that company, and you have this just like weird infatuation with the corporation itself, like whatever. But like as a customer, it's no different than you having loyalty to your favorite gas station. Like some people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But who else is going to give you a
but even as an employee, like. But even as an employee, I work for a bank. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really like the banks. I just like the paycheck I get. You know, it's not like the place I work at is the greatest place in the world. It's a paycheck, it's a job. It's a living.
Exactly. I think some people have somehow managed to the lines between like the corporation and like your relationship with that company. It's gotten blurred. There's just some really weird like. I can't even explain it. I don't think anybody can really. I've never seen undying loyalty to a telco like that before. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know where to go from here.
But at the end of the day, this is how you got to look at it. We pay the damn bills. So why the hell do you have to show for a company when you're paying them? They're not giving you nothing for free.
It's facts.
True.
Well,
and they don't really care about you either.
They don't. If you're, let's say,
go ahead and miss payment for one day. Tell me how they treat you.
God forbid that something happens to you. You got hurt. You can't go to work for a month and you miss the payment. What happens after 3-4 days? They suspend your line. They hotline you.
It's like with me with T-Mobile. They literally go up $1.50. Like I messed up the auto pay system. Carlos, you know about this in February. It messed up on my end for my January bill. They turned around and literally charged me for not auto paying within it was 3 days past, and I already had a $7.50 add-on to my bill.
Well,
sounds like Wells Fargo.
No, it was not. It's not a Wells Fargo problem.
No, I'm just saying how they charge those fees. That's like something Wells Fargo would do.
Yeah.
Very typical Wells Fargo.
Yeah. No, I can't say much about the fees because that's how I get paid since I work at a bank. But I get your point though.
Yeah.
See, hold on.
I don't work at that particular bank, but
Ricky says a Magenta fanboy is like a Chevy fanboy. Okay, with cars though, at least with a vehicle, you have your own. It's your vehicle that you can do whatever you want with. You could take a truck and you can lift it. You can take a car, you can slam it to the ground if you want to. You can add your own personal anecdotal changes to it. Whatever.
Including rolling the car in the snow in Wisconsin, all right?
Or whatever you want to do. But like with these networks,
we're having certain brands break down on you reliably.
Oh yeah, your Volkswagens of the world,
Yeah.
Hey.
The Volkswagens of the world.
Hey.
Well, these network. You don't control the network. You're not climbing the towers. No. You're not going to their hubs and putting new equipment in for them. So why do you care? Like
you don't want to know what I call Volkswagen.
Uh-oh.
I call them Hitler mobiles.
Whoa!
I mean that's their founder, right?
It's historically accurate.
It's historically accurate. Oh man!
No, stop making off by one.
I let you go, but I enjoy your show, guys.
Thanks, man.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate you. Take care, Ricky.
But no,
chill out, bro. Don't be talking about the Volvizi, bro. Don't do that, dog.
Caller.
The Volvizi hate-free zone, Ricky.
What's happening, man?
Can you state your
What's going on?
name and the state you represent?
Better not be another troll, I swear to God.
Bryant.
What's up, Frank? How you doing, brother?
He's from the Empire
Going on,
State of
Steve?
Mind.
Just chilling, man. Doing the call-in
Yeah,
show
man,
on
good old
Sundays.
New
You
York,
know how
man.
we do.
Brian in New York.
Bryant, what up,
Yeah,
man?
Appreciate you letting me on one more time. What's going on, sir? What's going on, everybody?
Appreciate you. Thanks for calling in, man. What's on your mind? Tell me about any of the stuff we've discussed already, or you want to bring on something else?
It's been a good conversation so far. I know you guys talked a little bit about the T-Mobile stuff. Sneeze, you know where I'm at on that. I'll stay calm. I'll stay quiet on that this time. So, just calling about you guys a little bit. I don't have anything in particular.
Come on, bro.
You know where I'm at on that, Steve. You know where I'm at on that.
Yes, sir.
We love your commentary on it, bro. Come on, man.
Those I just don't like them, man. You know what's up, man. I just don't like those guys. I'm not a
Come on,
fan.
baby. You know I feel you, man. I don't like I can't rock with the thong, baby.
I'm not a fan of those guys. I think, we all know they do a great job with, advertising and marketing and whatnot, but, AT&T's pricing, Verizon's pricing, very, very close to where you have with T-Mobile. You're not saving huge amounts of money anymore, in my opinion. I know you guys know Stetson. He does a really good job of breaking down costs and everything in his videos, and he shows it there even with, the differences in taxes and fees versus T-Mobile. And, we're talking about less than a $20 difference. It's really not that expensive to go for Verizon or AT&T versus T-Mobile. It's not a huge difference in cost. Now with them getting rid of the auto pay discount, you have to pay the upgrade fees and all that kind of stuff now, regardless whether you go online or in the store. It's really not that different anymore. You're not saving a whole lot, but you're getting a much better network experience. He talks about that ad nauseam all the time. It's just a great network experience on Verizon, AT&T too. So for me, just a lot of hype for nothing, man. A lot of people are still under the old guard of Verizon being super expensive. It's just not true anymore. Same thing with AT&T. So.
Yeah,
Hey, man, I thought T-Mobile was
$2.
I thought T-Mobile was really good in New York.
Everybody's good in New York, but
when can I get a Verizon plan for $15?
Simple U.S. Mobile, $15. But
the knocker right
U.S.
there,
Mobile,
baby.
man. U.S. Mobile. Sneed.
Yes, sir.
Sneed, let them know, man. U.S. Mobile, man.
U.S.
Verizon
Mobile.
network, $15.
Yes, they do Verizon. That's right.
Can I pay it with crypto?
Say it again.
Can I pay it with crypto?
That's a great question. I don't know, but I'm sure if you can't, $15, $15, $15. So I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, but I will say Verizon covers all their bases. If you can't do business directly with them, then they offer something either in the MVNO space to get you what you need cost wise. So
hey, you can use Mint Mobile for
$15
channel sponsor.
Ooh,
that's true. I don't want to be disrespectful.
I played with Visible.
Yeah, Visible's nice as well.
Found it to be really nice. Like when I did use it, I found it nice.
Yeah, man. If you're not looking to do the whole customer service in the stores and all that kind of stuff, you're okay being 100% digital. Visible's a good place to go too. I don't know, man. I'm a Verizon guy. I don't think they really make a whole lot of crazy mistakes network-wise. They definitely trailblaze in that area. They offer a little something for everybody.
You know
if you're
what?
looking for the value stuff, you go to MVNO route.
Dave, since you use very little data, maybe this might work out for you, bro, because you might even be able to pay less than $15.
You might be paying half.
Yeah.
What one?
Mobile X.
Mobile X, bro. I remember way back you used to talk about using how you wanted the plan that would give you the least amount of data possible. Here you go, bro. Peter Adderton's got you.
Yeah, Peter's got you.
Yep. And also through Verizon. Yep. Also through Verizon too, man.
I use about a gig a month, and I want the unlimited talk and text. Other than that, I'm good.
Bro, you know how much
$15 AT&T.
Of course.
You know how much it'll be with unlimited data and stuff? It'd be $10.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what their base cost is only like $9
mobile app?
or $8 for the talk and text.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the gig is like $1.50.
That's exactly, man. I mean, what are we talking about right now? $1.50 to access, best network out there. I mean, I don't know, man. What do we? I don't know. That's like, what are we talking about right now? I
That's
don't
what
know.
we talking about right now. $1.50 in data, bro. Straight up.
A gig of data for $1.50. That's not.
Hey,
like,
Sneed,
okay.
is it okay to
I
share
like
this
my-
thing real quick? I wanted to bring this up actually. I don't know how people might feel about this. If it's all right with you.
Yeah.
This right here. So this actually, I ended up activating another line to get this because I needed to get another S23 Ultra. And look at what it says right there. If you want to read the fine print where it says the Magenta MAX one line is $90 per month plus taxes and fees. It says now.
Oh. Well, you know what, Steve? You know who else is $90? You know who else is $90 a month?
Get
For
more.
a single line, Verizon's Get More plan is $90. I'm telling you, man. Like, I don't understand why everybody keeps talking about how Verizon, AT&T are so much more expensive than T-Mobile. They're not, man.
Well,
They're only a few dollars.
Hold on.
On that
hold
Get
on.
More plan.
Hold on. It comes into play when they get the free lines, right? And the taxes and fees. That's where the pricing comes into play.
But they're charging taxes and fees now, according to this.
Look, I just activated the line on 3.4, bro. So it was just recent. Can't still know the whole account.
So yesterday.
So
how
if the
much
price
is it
is
gonna come
exactly
out
the
to,
same
Los?
between
What's up?
if it's exactly the same, like Sneed, guys, fellas, why would I go with T-Mobile if the price is exactly the same? Why wouldn't I go with Verizon? And even if it's it's a $5 difference between the Magenta MAX for a single line and the Get More. I mean, it's $5 a month.
The reason you'd go with them is you want your data hacked.
Exactly. Exactly. Because you want to get your stuff exposed to the world. You want everybody to see your draws. I mean, I don't understand. I don't know.
You could
I don't know.
get two visible lines with that and still save.
Out of
But, I
curiosity,
mean-
has anybody used Mobile X?
But you get a water bottle once a year. I mean, that might be worth it.
Hey, let me do. Let me
Water
answer
bottle.
a
I'll
couple
buy
of
you a
things
water
here.
bottle.
Yeah,
Let
you
me
get
do
a
a
water
couple of things
bottle.
here.
Next week you'll get a pink thong.
All right, so we got a super chat from Stacy. Appreciate you, Stacy. He said visible or US mobile. So they're two different things, right? If you're like a heavy data user and you really want that unlimited experience, I really like the Visible Plus plan. At $35 for a line, I think it's a great value. You get the 50 gigs of priority data, and then you get the 5G ultra wideband access, right? So I'm really big on that. And then also with the US Mobile, you're kind of getting a nice QCI, so you get that like postpaid like Verizon access, and I think the plans are also pretty competitive. So I think it's just, if you want more of like a carefree experience, maybe that Visible kind of works. But if you want better customer care, I think you'll get it from US Mobile. So maybe it's kind of what you need.
Sneed, I want to add on to that Visible ordeal.
Verizon got the
That
MVNO
is
game on
$35.
lock, man.
That is $35 up until March 31st.
Yeah, that promotion will run through the month, and you can keep the promotion as long as you want, but they're just running it through March.
Ooh, that's a good deal. That is a good
We
deal.
got this comment from Balthazar. I'm paying $240 for 2 lines on Verizon, $207 for 3 lines on T-Mobile.
Jesus.
So you 240 versus 207. I mean, I don't think that's a huge difference in cost when you're thinking about just how
2
good.
lines.
Okay, so
2 lines
let's talk
lines
about
on Verizon. He's saying 2 lines for 240 versus.
Yeah, so you say 240
But one of those lines
versus
is probably
207.
free.
Steve, is that right?
Yeah, 3 lines for 207 at T-Mobile, 2 lines for 240 at Verizon.
Is that including device payments?
Yeah, just service.
It
That's
might
the
be.
only way to do this. Leave the phone financing out of it.
That's high.
Because I've never seen a plan that high, not including device payments.
Yeah, that's really high
They
because my
probably-
Oh,
T-Mobile.
Because that's 120 a line. Like not even the starting line is that. But
Yeah, I was about to say, how in the world? What is that including insurance or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that including insurance or something like that? I don't know what they're. I don't know how they got that price point.
Because Verizon's most expensive plan is $90. I don't even know how you get to 240.
Yeah, so that would be 180. So
Maybe if
I don't know.
Maybe if they were financing phones, I don't know.
Maybe they don't have auto pay and they've got a home. But
no,
they don't have auto pay and they're not getting those discounts. But that's the customer's fault. If you're not doing all the discounts and everything, man, that's kind of on them. But I don't know.
So you like the MVNO space for Verizon, huh, Brian?
Shop all plans.
I think it's a good strategy, man. We talked about this the last podcast that you had, Sneed. If I'm running a company and I'm trying to make sure I maintain that premium list status and everything and continue to be able to invest in network, why wouldn't I use MVNO partners and the cable partners and all those guys to compete for the value customer? It just makes sense. Rely on those guys. They're responsible for billing and customer care. All I'm doing is leasing the network to them. I'm getting, value as far as paying for the network investment that I've, put all these billions of dollars into the network and everything, but I'm getting that money back and I'm not having to necessarily fully service those customers. I think it's a smart thing. It's a smart thing to do. And I don't see any of the other, MNOs doing the same thing to the same degree. Verizon's dominating that space as they should be. It just makes perfect sense to me. I think it's a good idea.
What are they going to do with Total by Verizon? We don't see much love going that way.
Well, with Verizon, there's just so many choices for how to do business. When you got the track phone stuff, you got the Total by Verizon, you got Visible, you have all these different options, which I personally don't think is a bad thing, but it's hard to give love to all the different brands out there. I mean, I think Verizon Prepaid still exists. So there are a lot of options, and I think, I don't think that's a bad thing at all. When you combine all of that with what's going on with
remember? And then we got nothing out of it.
Yeah, they did talk about it.
I'm just looking for some direction for that brand.
Well, at the end of the day, I think it looks to me like Verizon's just throwing as much at the wall, just trying to find out what sticks. I don't think they too much care which brand a customer decides to do business with, as long as the customer is getting on the Verizon network. I think it makes sense. And when you think about it, the strategy has to work in some way, shape, or form. They're the largest prepaid provider in the country. Nobody has more customers than Verizon does on prepaid. And then I don't even think that includes what they're doing with big cable.
Yeah, but
everybody who's anybody wants to do business with them.
They bought TracFone. That's 20 million subscribers in one transaction. We can't say that was effective.
Well, who cares about organic?
Oh, I do, because obviously they couldn't do it. If the question is about their effectiveness, it was a transaction. It wasn't that they were competing. It wasn't a vision. It wasn't a philosophy. It wasn't execution. It was a purchase. I'm not going to give them any props.
Well, that's the same thing T-Mobile did.
No,
T-Mobile bought Sprint. That's not organic either. I mean, that's how they got all. That's how they got. I mean, but that's all. That's how they got all this spectrum that they're using to now claim the best network. They have a crap LTE network.
I'm talking about retail and prepaid. Like what T-Mobile did with Metro was pretty damn impressive between 2014 and 2018. Right? They grew big. Without Verizon buying TracFone, Metro was the prepaid brand. I mean,
I don't disagree.
Shell of itself.
But I'm not against. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
See.
I was just going to say I'm not against mergers and acquisitions, just because that's how a lot of companies grow. When you get to the size of a Verizon or an AT&T, it is very challenging to get sustainable long-term growth organically. It's not easy to do. So if you got to do it via merger and acquisition, I don't think that's a bad thing. And again, the reason why I compared it with T-Mobile is because that's how they got where they are.
I'm not
going to say it's a bad thing, they're not claiming.
But I'm not going to give them props like they're doing something special at Verizon. Like, they really know how to grow in prepaid. I'm not giving them props for that.
I will say.
Okay, that, I got you.
I will say that T-Mobile's pretty good at growing organically without acquisitions as well. If if you look at their net ads every quarter.
It's free lines. What are we talking about? It's not. Is that really organic? If you got to give it away,
So
how much money are they making? What are we? I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
the Verizon, the cheapest Verizon plan gives 2 free lines if you get 4 at the moment.
The Welcome Unlimited?
Yeah, or as I call it, the Want More.
Yeah, I mean, I just shared right now on the screen. I mean, going back to a conversation about 2 lines, I mean, that's their most expensive plan, 2 lines. So I don't know where they got the 270 from.
What are we coming in at, bro, for the 2 lines?
180 right there.
Yeah, that's what I said before. It's 180. I don't know how they got to 2 whatever. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. They must be including device financing in that, which is an accurate representation. Yeah.
Has anyone tried Circled In to get Verizon Get More at a cheap price?
Has anyone tried what now?
Circled In. That's the one where you can join a group plan and on various carriers, including Verizon Get More. And
I've not heard of it.
Huh?
I've heard of it,
Yeah,
but
me
I haven't
neither.
used it.
I haven't heard of it before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It basically allows you to say, like, give a line away on your account, and they pay you or whatever for it.
Yeah. I'm not
So
sure
instead of having like one
for the end user or not. So.
All right, we're gonna try to get
like
some.
one line, and
we're gonna try to get some
90
new
a month.
callers in. Los, you said you got someone in the queue.
I got someone in the queue. So, let's see. Who's been here the longest?
We could just get the other. If you guys want to call back after we get to some other callers, it's perfectly fine. We don't.
Hey Dave,
we don't mind.
Dave Donald, I'm gonna right now because you guys have been here the longest. I'm gonna right now, just at the moment, just give us a call back here
All right.
in a few. All right, guys, thank you for calling in. We appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
Yo, I want to apologize for the background noise. Sorry, I was on an iPad. I'm not on the actual professional setup tonight.
No problem.
All right, caller, you're on the line. You state your name and the state you represent. Hello, caller, are you there? Oh, they hung up. The heck?
All right. Thanks for calling.
Right?
Hey, Lowe's, it's not the state they represent. It's what's their thought on 5G?
Oh, here's a funny comment. Verizon welcome plan is like going to the circus and feeding the elephant bad peanuts.
Oh, wow.
Sheesh.
Yep. Why do you think I call it the Want More plan?
The elephant eats those peanuts, though.
But you know
I mean,
what, guys?
that plan seems to be selling. Somebody's getting it.
I'm gonna step in there with that plan because, as you know, your boy has that plan and he's experiencing it too. Because I test all the plans, and I'm gonna tell you right now, bro, it's not really that bad as people make it seem out to be. Just because
it's really not.
It's really not. It's not, bro. Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
Carlos,
Okay.
what's better, the start or the welcome, or the same? What are they?
I'm gonna keep, and this is keeping it 100 with you. I'd rather have the freaking welcome.
Does the welcome include 5G?
Dude, I get N77 connection. I get millimeter wave connection too. Only when it's not congested is when I'll get full speed. If not, I'm guaranteed 25 by 25.
Because I know that's the downfall of the start is you're on LTE and nationwide 5G.
Dude,
So,
25 by
At the end of the day, the plan was the plan was put together for cost for people who were looking for something inexpensive. But you can't have it. You can't have it all. I mean, unless you want to go prepaid or MVNO, you can't have it all. If you want to have that, lesser expensive price, you may not get access to everything. You got to kind of pick what you can afford to pay for. So if you're looking for that value plan, I think the Welcome Unlimited is solid. It is what it is. I mean, it's solid. Not bad.
And I'm going to tell you this, guys. I bet you guys have never. I never told you guys, but 2 streams ago, I actually was streaming on the Welcome Unlimited plan. I put the SIM in my 13 Pro Max and I was streaming on it. And I bet you guys weren't even able to tell the difference.
I couldn't tell. You sound exactly the same as me, Los.
There you go. And that's what I'm saying, bro. It's
like I said,
even though it's managed,
it's a perception thing, man.
Right?
Yeah, it's a perception thing. At the end of the day, people have ingrained in their minds that Verizon's expensive, and that's that. And Verizon's expensive, and that's that. And Verizon's expensive, and that's that. And it's just not true anymore. I mean, a lot of the stuff that's happening with that company is not as bad as people think it is, man.
All right, Brian, true or false? Brian,
True
true or false? Verizon's customer care ain't shit.
False. I don't think that's now. Is it industry leading, best out there? I don't think it's best out there, but I think it's on par with AT&T and even T-Mobile. The only thing that I would push back on and say, okay, probably could improve here, is I wish the hours were better as far as calling in the customer service. I think they close a little bit earlier than I would like. But also, for me, I get around that because I've learned to log in online and conduct my business there when I need to. Most customers nowadays, they do go online. I don't necessarily need to go and call and get something done every single time. And if I do, I call during the hours that they're open, or I go into a store. But I mean, most of the time when I'm going into stores, regardless of what carrier it is, they're empty anyway. I don't think people rely on stores and calling in like they used to. I think that's an outdated way to judge how much traffic is coming into a particular carrier or not. The stores, it's not 2003, it's 2023.
It's just like here, I swallowed the fee of $7.50 on my T-Mobile line. Yeah, my T-Mobile stuff was originally $94.50, but it went up to $100. It went up to $101, and I was like, I'm just gonna swallow it. I don't care.
No.
All right, Lokes, can we get a gold for gaming?
Yes, he's on the line right now. Govis, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Nice to see you.
Good to talk to you, my man. So,
like, you know what I heard about AT&T lately? Like, the customer service has been bad lately with them. It's with the internet related.
Well, the data's been bad for you on
like,
AT&T.
You know why with the
AT&T?
Yeah, I have AT&T fiber. We do.
Oh, damn, the fiber has been bad?
And yeah, it's been like inconsistent for me. Like there've been outages, you know, like where I live in Dallas. Like you know what happened? There was a tornado that happened here.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm surprised the fiber product for AT&T is very well received and customer satisfaction is high.
Yeah, it's usually a good product. Like usually when it's not down, it's great. But you know, we have appointments to fix it like sometime this week.
Sneed, do you remember when
how y'all do?
AT&T called their fiber product Uverse?
Uverse, yes, sir.
That was not as amazing as just the plain AT&T fiber.
Yeah, it's like 2 different worlds, Pete.
Oh, yeah.
The fastest I ever got on an AT&T DSL plan was the VDSL. I had like 75 or 100 megabits.
You're lucky, but mine was only 50 down and 10 up.
You were lucky to get 10 up.
Yeah, earlier. The video that you made earlier, Sneed, about pricing or the cost to build out fiber with AT&T being higher than they anticipated. That was really interesting. I'm not surprised, but I mean, that speaks to what we were talking about earlier. You know, fixed wireless access. Again, I hate to toot Verizon's horn once again, but they're the only ones investing in fixed wireless access and a fiber rollout at the same time. It's smart to do it that way rather than put your hat in one basket and invest in both and then sell both simultaneously. I mean, it just makes sense. You don't have to rely on building fiber to the premise from sea to shine and sea. That's expensive as I don't know what to do. You can do a little bit of FWA everywhere. You can do some, files. You can sell everywhere. You have a true nationwide broadband offering as opposed to just depending on one. Man, fiber to the premise is expensive and it's time consuming. AT&T said what they said because they didn't have the spectrum assets to deploy FWA. They think they slick, but that's really what it's about. They don't have the spectrum to deploy it the way that the way that Verizon and T-Mobile does. And that's the reason why they've been saying what they've been saying. But I think Verizon's got the best strategy on that too. Invest in both, sell them both, and let the customer decide which one they want.
You know what's crazy, Brian? So I kind of agree with you about the fixed wireless product in a way, just because right now we're on the stream that's holding together right now. I'm literally on the Verizon Business fixed wireless, and it's the only one that holds right, bro. You could tell the difference how Verizon treats QCIs and all that stuff, because the home wireless product, the regular consumer one, it's quick, but the business one might be a little slower speed, but it's solid, bro. It holds steady. Like it's holding this stream like it's
very, very well
apart.
Look, I'll be honest with you guys. I just want to share this because this is 100% candid. This is all fact, all true. I would say in my 20 plus years as a Verizon customer, I probably called Verizon 3 times in 15 years. And in the last...
Exactly, which is why I don't understand.
Hold on a second, Brian. Let me finish. In the last year, I've had to call Verizon 5 times. And each of those 5 times, I got the runaround. They messed something else up and still didn't fix my actual problem. So in my opinion, I think Verizon is hitting on the network. I think that their plans, while they're not the best, they're okay. You know, it's not the end of the world. But their customer care, if I compare the first 15, 16, 17 years as a customer, when I look at the customer care compared to how it is today, bro, it is trash. The last 5 times I needed customer care at Verizon, they struck out 5 out of 5. They didn't hit one time. Every single time I had to get escalated to Office of the President. Do you know how inefficient that is? Do you know how ineffective that is? Do you know the risk of churn when a customer has to get to the Office of the President? That's how I never needed Office of the President in 18, 17 years.
Hey,
and I needed them 5 times in the last year.
Hey, Sneed, do you know how I got to Office of the
I respect
President
that,
at
Sneed.
T-Mobile?
I respect that.
How's that, Pete?
I looked at what they did with their acquisition of Layer 3 TV, and then they said, yeah, it's going to be rolled into T-Mobile. And I had a business account. So I'm like, you're making me buy a consumer line so I can continue watching TV? That's extortion.
And just to kind of wrap up my thought, though, about that Office of the President before I forget, Brian, the Office of the President takes care of business. They fixed everything in 5 minutes. But I was on the carousel for 2, 3, 4 days for each of these situations. You see what I'm saying?
I feel you 100%, Sneed.
See, I respect that 100%, man. You know, Verizon's not perfect. I get it. As far as customer service is concerned, you make a valid point.
My comment with me going up to Office of the President is how much T-Mobile had to shore up what they were doing for me to even start having to go there. Sneed had to end up there simply because the trainees he reached were inept.
Yeah. I mean, when I was with T-Mobile, I mean, I was always going up there for every issue because, I mean, all their employees do is lie about everything.
Bro, like, Sneed, the problems that I went through recently, bro. And literally, it took the Office of the President to fix it. How was it my fault that I was getting charged for 3 premium streamings on one line? Was getting charged 3 times. And then they said customer care was saying that it was my fault. That's the correct billing for it. How's it $30 for a $10 feature?
And this was who? What carrier?
This is Verizon, bro. Verizon? And I love I've been with them. And I've been with them, bro. I've been through from 360 Communications to AirTouch Wireless to Altel and then Verizon. I've been through all those acquisitions, dude. That's how long I've been with the company.
I mean, how's Verizon now? How are they as a company? Like, how's their customer service now?
Customer service is bad.
Yeah,
it needs to work.
It's horrible across the board. I think that's just coming out. The whole pandemic thing is just customer service, no matter what industry, everywhere. It's just gone to crap.
Yeah. It has.
Well, with Verizon, there's
it's unfortunate, man.
And I'm going to tell you why. The people that they're using for overseas, they're not well trained. They don't know the systems. They don't know what they can and can't do with respect to solutions. You know, they send you to the wrong department all the damn time. They're unskilled and untrained. You know, they're just probably throwing them in with the most basic of systems knowledge, right? And then all they ever end up telling you is, I can't help you, or they try to do something, they make a new problem. That's a lack of skill and training, you know, and they're just trying to get them in. Bro, there's a problem, right? There is a revolving door. The best people at Verizon have been coming and going too, you know, especially in retail. Which is a totally different story. But with respect to the customer care, what I used to think Verizon was a shining star at customer care, because whenever I called them, it was a perfect executed fix and solution. I'm like thinking I might get lucky maybe if they fix my problem first day, when it used to be a foregone conclusion they were going to fix it the first day.
Very true, but I will respond with this. This is not an excuse. I acknowledge everything that you guys are saying, but I will say this: you kind of got to expect for customer service to erode a little bit from where you were talking about, Sneed, where it was top notch. Because back then it was $90 just for unlimited talk and text on a basic phone. Verizon was way more expensive than it is now. So when you're talking about having to cut costs, which Verizon has done, I hear you, but it's not $90 a month for unlimited talk and text on a basic phone anymore with Verizon. Now you can get Verizon service for as little as what did we say a few minutes ago? $1.50, $15 a month. I mean, what are we talking about right now? It's there's gonna be some degradation somewhere when you're talking about lowering prices to where they have. So it's not an excuse. It doesn't mean that, you know, I think that, you know, it should stay the way that it is. It's fine. I'm just saying, being reasonable, if Verizon had to choose between lowering network performance and customer service, obviously it sounds like, based on everybody's testimonies now, they've chosen to lower customer service rather than lower network.
Yeah.
And I mean,
now, Brian, can I ask you,
when you're talking about having to,
can I ask you about why do you think customers are going to big cable? Do you think it's customer care related, or is it simply price, in your opinion?
I think it may be a combination of both, but I guess if you have to choose, I guess I would probably say price. There are a lot of people out here who you know, unfortunately, are struggling a little bit. You know, these rates are high, and, you know, costs and everything are expensive. So I get it. I certainly understand and respect that. But again, you know, Verizon's having to do what a lot of companies are having to do. They're having to pay people more, you know, because of where we are, and having to charge less. So something's gonna give, and it's been customer service. So I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm not saying that it's the best thing for the consumer or really for anybody. But these are human beings at the end of the day running these companies. And again, if I was running Verizon and I had to choose between network performance and customer service, knowing that I have to pay people more and I have to charge less than I did 10 years ago, well, I'm going to choose customer service too, because I've solved that by giving you the ability to manage your own account online. I mean, it just makes sense to me. It's not, maybe it's not the politically correct thing to say, but I mean, let's be honest. If you got to choose, I mean, I'm gonna lower customer service a little bit in order to be able to make up the difference between not having to charge $90 a month for unlimited talk and text on a basic phone anymore, to now having to accept $15 a month at US.
Well, then
Mobile.
You know what Verizon's gonna have to do? They're gonna have to innovate. They're gonna have to innovate automated and customer care related moves online. Like, the app has to be fully integrated. Like, every single thing that I can do on the phone with customer care, I must have granular control on the app. No negotiations. If I want to, address, a specific thing, like the eSIM, when I was moving from physical SIM to eSIM, literally the Verizon system failed and I had to call a customer care rep. It literally said, we cannot do your activation. You can only proceed by calling this number. Like, those things have to be tended to and addressed, or else the system has a fail point. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's where AI takes
You're
over.
absolutely right.
And
That's
makes
fair.
big changes.
That's fair.
That's right.
Yeah, I was hoping it wouldn't come to that, but eventually we may have some AI, some more stuff kind of get integrated. I'm sure Verizon's probably already cooking that stuff up because you have to do something because you're not bringing in the revenue that you were before. Because again, $90 a month versus $15, you got to find a way to cut costs somewhere. And unfortunately, it's been with customer service. I agree with you, Sneed. I'm sure there's more. Hopefully, there's more coming down the pipe to be able to address that stuff.
The latest I've seen, as far as AI replacing customer service, was going through a drive-through at Rallies. Now it's the speaker is hooked up to like an AI device, and you're talking to a computer taking your order now. So I assume Verizon's like call line would eventually go somewhere along that way.
I wonder what the difference has been in productivity going to that system that you just described at Rallies, as far as how many orders are getting correctly placed and correctly built and everything and correctly made versus what it was before when it was a human taking your order. I wonder what the difference is. I would love to see those numbers because if there's been an improvement, then it's tough to say that Rallies is making the wrong decision by doing that.
To me, it feels so impersonal. I don't like it, but at the same time, every time I went there, my order has never been messed up. Like the computer seems more reliable to take my order than humans at other restaurants.
That's great.
There you go. There you have it. Then maybe it's the right thing to do because the human element. How many times have we talked to people about going to a fast food spot before all this AI was introduced and your order being wrong?
Right.
I'm all for the human element, paying people more money, things of that nature, but orders are getting wrong. Sneed talked about having to call in the five times when he's dealing with people, whether they're trained, whether they're not, I don't know, but they're getting it wrong. So, maybe it's time for human beings to step up a little bit, all of us collectively, say, hey, we're asking for more money. Let's provide better service to the customer. Maybe that's not a Verizon thing. Maybe that's hey, I'm customer representative A, and I need to do a better job. I don't know.
Hold up.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Fast food places are using AI to take orders.
Yes.
I'm so happy I've started going to sit-down restaurants most of the time.
Like what restaurant is doing it right now? What restaurant? What fast food chain is doing it?
That's Rallies where I live.
I didn't know that McDonald's is Fort Worth that is going to do that the same thing, but it's different from what you said.
It's only a matter of time before it makes it to the McDonald's and the Burger Kings and Chick-fil-A and everybody else. Yep. Monkey see, monkey do when it comes to that kind of stuff,
And also White Castle. I've seen they have a robot by the fryer now that's dropping the food automatically for them.
Does the AI always show up on time?
We had to know this was coming.
Yeah.
As soon as the whole $15 an hour movement came, it was writing on the wall. It was writing on the wall. How do you remain profitable selling 4-for-4s if you got to pay $15 an hour to every employee? It was writing on the wall. Unfortunately, it's just I get it and I respect it, but it was only a matter of time.
I used to manage a Jack in the Box, and there was an equation for how many hours we could schedule and how many employees we could have on the floor versus the sales. And to go to $15 an hour, doubling what we were paying, well, that equation has to shift. So you have to basically, to keep the same amount of employees, you have to have double the sales. So everyone's going to have to do double the work to make that $15 an hour. Or you're going to do it with half the staff.
Well,
give up more profit.
So is it worth it then? Like I don't want to make this a political conversation because I certainly don't want to be disrespectful to anybody's beliefs or anything like that. I certainly don't. I know we're talking about technology, but I feel like we're kind of pivoting there. But
the root of our
I don't think it's not political. It's just a state of where the world's headed.
Hold on, so we got another caller here on the line. Hey Brian, hold on. I'm gonna put you on hold real quick, and I'm gonna bring in this person because they've been on hold for a minute. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Hey, you know what?
Hold on.
I'm a mistake.
Hold on. Did this person get?
I'm here, guys. I'm not sure if I'm.
What? Wait.
Caller, you're on the line. You're on the live. Name and state you're representing, Mr. Nimmer.
And thoughts on 5G?
Nimmer, I'm in California. 5G. So far, 5G doesn't. It needs more use cases and needs to be developed out more. But call to talk about Verizon.
How you doing, brother?
It's still so early. 5G's only been around like 2, maybe 3 years at the most. I agree that definitely does need to be more use cases, but we're still really early in the game. It's not even fully deployed yet.
Definitely not.
So
yeah,
definitely need more use cases.
But I called to talk about Verizon. I hear about these issues with customer service, and I think this is my problem with Hans. He came in, and maybe he had to, I don't know, but there's a lot of cost cutting that's been done over the past few years. These aren't decisions these aren't issues that happen overnight. It's not like Verizon decides, hey, we're going to lower the cost of plans, and so tomorrow all of a sudden customer care gets worse. These decisions have been made for a while, and I think it goes deeper than that. I do think they have systemic issues. I know I've called myself to port a number over before in the past year. The number ended up ported over, but then it took a long time. It took over an hour to get ported over, which should not have taken that long. I got bounced around a lot, but then I got ported over, and I tried to activate eSIM, and the eSIM wouldn't activate. So then I ended up stuck with a number that wasn't somehow attached to an account. So then I go to try to fix that in the store, and the store ended up on hold for 2 hours with this customer service. They were also trying to figure this thing out. Anyway, it ended up being for a day and a half. I was without that number.
Wow.
What phone were you using?
I was trying to use any phone. I didn't care what phone I was trying to use.
No, like activating the eSIM one.
Oh, initially I was trying to use a Pixel, but again, it didn't matter. I had an iPhone. I didn't care what phone was activated. I just wanted the line to be tied, the number to be tied to a line.
Now, what plan were you on? What plan do you want?
What plan? I mean, I tend to be on the Get More, on the highest end plans.
Okay.
Yeah, there has been issues.
But I mean, in the past, like probably 2 to 3 years, I've seen a lot of systemic issues, and it's not just customer service. I mean, I've talked to people in the stores here, and they have issues with their systems all the time where, they try to do something simple and it's seemingly simple. Oh, it doesn't work, and they have to figure something else out, and they have to try another solution. Their systems kick them out. I was in the store the other day, and the wireless was down, and so then those people had to connect using mobile hotspots on their own phones.
Nimmer, that's why you have to.
I think it has a lot to do with cost.
I got you. I got you on the business priority, baby. Come on, man. You know I got you, Nimmer.
Right now I'm talking on an AT&T line. I like all the carriers. I think they all have their strengths. I'm definitely a Verizon fan, or have been, but it seems like they've made a lot of systemic moves. Like their systems are older, and they're running into a lot of these issues. And it seems like that may be due to cost cutting, the customer service. A lot of that has moved overseas. I remember a couple of years ago, I'd call customer service with Verizon, and without question, I would end up with a U.S. representative, or at least someone who's able to fix my issues very, very quickly, usually from the U.S.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize. Sorry.
I was just... No, go ahead. I was going to slightly change the topic. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, man. I was just going to, I don't want to be redundant again. I just think it has a lot to do with cost. I agree with you guys. Back in the day, Verizon customer service was exemplary, but everybody was paying $400 a month. And customers collectively said, we don't want to pay $400 a month anymore. So a lot of this, to me, it makes sense. Verizon customers
but
aren't
it's not
paying
just the
$400.
simple of customer service, though, is what I was getting at. I think it's a lot deeper than that and goes to their systems. Like, a lot of their systems are genuinely very old systems that they're using.
I agree.
If you talk to maybe representatives, they will tell you, like, they need to upgrade their systems in general. Their systems are
really bad.
Well, I'm sure Verizon's probably in the process of doing that, but I'll be honest with you. I think there are a lot of companies who used to outsource their systems support. Like they would get another company, like for example, Oracle or somebody to write a POS for point of sale for retail, and then they would have that company, Oracle, whoever, be responsible for supporting that system. And I think now, in order to cut costs, I think a lot of companies, probably Verizon included, are insourcing that now with their own IT departments. So they're having to be responsible for, okay, this is a product we didn't build, but we have to make sure that we support it. And because we didn't build it, we didn't write the code, we're having to kind of figure it out on the fly. And of course, it saves the company, you know, to their credit, it saves these companies tons of money, but it also jams up the customer service experience and the experience for the employee as well who has to use these systems. All of it, in my opinion, and it's an educated opinion, it has to do with cost. So again, there are growing pains with all of this stuff, but the customer's not paying Verizon and these other companies what they used to pay them.
But I don't think the customers
real quick, I want to interject here real quick. Anybody who says that Verizon systems are old and outdated clearly hasn't used T-Mobile or AT&T's internal point-of-sale systems because they are ancient.
Oh, I know those are bad too.
Ancient.
Yeah,
Verizon has the most.
It's
Verizon has the most
exclusive.
modern out of them all.
I'm
just to be
going
honest with you guys.
To interject regarding insourcing of system support. Sometimes they don't even insource. They assume that a senior employee has enough experience with the system when it bugs out that they already know how to fix it. So it's worse than insourcing. It's expecting somebody who has no idea what's happening to know how to fix something.
It's no sourcing. There's no
Exactly. No
sourcing. I hear you guys, but that is insourcing though. Like if you're expecting someone who works for you to be able to fix a problem on a system that they didn't help right, that is insourcing. Now, I agree if you don't have the training, all that, I get all of that, and I agree that I acknowledge all those points, but that's still insourcing. And the purpose or the reason that is happening is to save money. And why are these companies trying to save money? Because they're trying to compete. Because they have to sell their product at $15 a month US Mobile in order to appease the customer right now. Whereas with Verizon, you would have never gotten...
data cost? What is the cost of data?
It's not $15. I'll tell you that. It's not $15, especially when you have to pay employees more than you had to pay them 10 years ago to do the same types of jobs that were being done 10 years ago. So, I mean, like...
Data, once the network is built out, data is very, very cheap per
But it's not built out. 5G is still being built out. And, I mean, when you're talking about telecommunications...
These companies continue to make profits, pretty good sizable profits, because they're charging, in a lot of cases, $50, $60, $80, $90 a line. There are people that pay $15 a line, but they've got quite a lot of customers that are paying for high-end plans. And
I agree with you 1,000%. I agree. I mean, I think you're right. There is still a profitability that's there, but it's not what it was 10 years ago when people were paying $90 a month for a flip phone to have unlimited talk and text. So all I'm saying is that I'm not saying the profitability is gone. I'm saying that it's eroded. And so companies have to be able to make up for that erosion because they've got shareholders. They've also got consumers who expect a better product than they got before. So when you have everybody expecting more, and then you have consumers who want more for less, you have to make up the difference somehow. And so what I'm saying is, for a lot of companies, not just Verizon, it's been customer service that has taken a hit because you can't afford to skimp on the network, so you skimp somewhere else. And that's why we were talking about the AI and different ways to be able to serve the customer. I mean, customer service has been what a lot of companies, that's the button that companies have pressed and said, this is where we're going to try to save our money. It is what it is, guys.
Customer service AI has got a long way to go, though, because it can be very much feel like a black hole and get people in even worse states than they started.
Part of the problem is our money. I mean, think about it. With inflation, 10 years ago and now, the inflation has increased a ton. And if you really look back at it, Verizon's most expensive plan today in 2023 would cost $2.70 in 1913 money when the Federal Reserve was created.
I hear you on that.
That's how much inflation has eroded the value of a dollar over the last 100 years. It's worth 3 cents now.
I'm going.
But to your point, the same $90, the same $90 on the 5G Get More plan was what it cost for unlimited talking text on a flip phone 10 years ago. Yes. It was $90. So people are getting more for their dollar than they were back then. It was a flip. I mean, I don't know how long you guys have been Verizon customers, but it really was $90. It was $89.99 for a flip phone, and now you're getting $90.
$89.99. You also got a phone and all that. Yeah, I mean,
but it was a flip phone
prices back then. But also, the cost of delivering that data has gone down.
I disagree.
I disagree.
Can I say one thing about paying employees more? 5 years ago, the cost of housing was 33% less than it is now. Statistically, most people were not getting substantial raises in the time period to offset the 33%. That's why they're asking for more money for their work.
Yep.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Good point.
Good point.
Stop letting the Federal Reserve control our money.
Yes. I'm sorry to make this a political conversation, Sneed. My bad, man. I'm sorry, guys.
You're fine. You're fine. But the cost per gig of data has decreased.
Well, so it's the cost of data itself. So if the cost of data has gone down, so has the cost of customers' bills. I mean, I feel like I proved that pretty well by saying access for a basic phone versus access for the best 5G plan that you can get is exactly the same. And that's a decrease in cost. So I think that Verizon and all of the mobile network operators have passed those savings on to the consumer fairly well, and you're still seeing people ask for even more. Because what were we just talking about? $15 a month, $1.50 per gig. I mean, people want even less, or have to pay even less. So, I mean,
because that's because in nearly every country around the world, data is significantly cheaper.
Very true, but people around the world don't mind their paying full price for their phones. People in Europe have no problem selling out $2,000 for a phone at the point of sale. Americans don't want to do that. So American mobile network operators have to worry about subsidizing the cost of the phone and providing a great network experience. And I think they've done it fairly well for the same $90. I mean, I don't know.
Hey, I put out $1,000 for a new phone at point of sale.
Yeah, I pay for my phone. I pay for my phones outright.
I think that you guys will be in the minority.
Yeah,
most customers. But most customers either, don't have the means or aren't willing to do that consistently at scale. That's the reason why
carriers are not putting the full cost of those deals, of those promotions.
Well, they shouldn't have to. They're buying in bulk. I mean, they're essentially doing the same thing that Sam's Club does for the consumer. They're buying in bulk. So, I mean, they shouldn't have to pay the same thing as one person purchasing one phone. But I mean, most consumers,
they're still profiting off those devices, even if they give the consumer a discount.
That's true, and I agree, but I don't think that's a bad thing because, again, consumers are paying less than they did before for way more services than they got before.
For a company to profit, I'm just saying that the cost of generally per gig, but I'm just making the statement, per gig has gone down, and just generally the consumers are, the companies continue to get their profits, and the consumer walks away with less customer service. Yeah,
why don't we have municipal wireless?
The costs. I mean, I see what municipal has done with internet.
Municipalities can't afford it. Not at scale. Can't afford it.
I mean,
they need
licenses. You know what I mean?
My city did municipal internet. We floated a 10-year bond to cover the build-out, and we're 3 years ahead of schedule on repaying it. The issue is you need to convince the citizen to finance the debt to build it out initially, and it may take them a few weeks
Well, if you can't
or a
convince
few
them, then they don't
years
get a network.
before they find the network.
City I lived in,
Well, I mean,
I want to say this is about 16 years ago. They had a citywide Wi-Fi program. It was through AT&T. They killed that off after about a year or two because it was complete garbage.
exactly.
I mean,
Do we
nobody
really
could
want
connect
our
to it.
our
Like,
government?
you connect to it for maybe 30 seconds if you were lucky, then get kicked off. Speeds were horrible. But yeah, they had like basically a router on like every light pole in the city.
Wait, you said they were associated? They were doing that with AT&T?
AT&T built the network for them.
So there's
Wireless
a difference
or
between a public build network and a private-public partnership network. The public networks seem to do better than the private-public ones. Simply because the public ones can take debt on more debt easily, and the private-public partnerships, the private do want to turn a profit.
Don't trust your government, folks.
Not to do that. I mean, that's not to do that. Don't trust the government to do that. I mean, every time we allow them to facilitate services like that, they just don't do a great job. I would prefer to deal with the private company personally.
I have the direct opposite example of that with my ISP. I can get a 10 gig connection less than Sneed can get a 5
on that on the local level.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, there's 3,000 counties in the country. I'm not sure if you can duplicate that 3,000 times. Maybe you do have some cities that can do it, but
if the county doesn't want to fund it, then they don't get into that.
Oh,
we're talking about the rollout of internet right now. I mean, AT&T is building out, Verizon's building out, T-Mobile's doing their thing with fixed wireless access. I mean, the private companies are building out. They're in the process of doing it right now. So, I mean, if the localities don't provide some sort of public option, the private industry, they're doing their job to their credit. I mean, all three of the major companies, they are building out right now. Comcast is building out right now too, and so is I think Spectrum and all the other guys. So I think
they are
internet
building out,
options.
and they're also still struggling with the local municipalities and where they can build and how long it takes to license, and even with new federal rules, it's taking forever.
Very true. And I mean, you know, a lot of that gets in the way of the progress that everybody's talking about demanding. So, I mean, at the end of the day, hopefully the majority of the American consumers out here feel some sort of improvement as far as the options that they have to connect. Because I think we've got more momentum in this space than we've had in the last 20 to 25 years. We haven't seen this amount of push. And, you know, I'm sad that it took a pandemic for it to happen, but it's happening. And I think that's a good thing. Hopefully people are excited about that.
Yep. Exactly. Well,
I mean, all this great, you know, all these great speeds and stuff coming out, I mean, it's pretty good.
It's not just about the speeds at the end of the day either, bro. It's about time to content and the way the quality of the connection is, because you could have, you know, 2 gigs down, but what does it matter having 2 gigs down if your end-to-end point of the connection sucks?
Hey,
yeah, very true, Los.
I see
very
Archie.
True, Los. You're right about that.
I see Archie in the chat. He was telling me about a different type of private-public partnership. In his part of the country, the area paid to build fiber, and private companies can license the fiber and resell it to customers with features, and that's doing damn well. What we found is when private companies are the ones doing the infrastructure, we get bad results.
Yeah, that does
that
happen.
would seem to make most sense, because then you only have to run fiber one time, and then have it all done with, and then AT&T and Comcast and Spectrum and whoever just connects a little node to it, and everybody has the option to choose whichever one they want.
who would be responsible for caring for that fiber network? Like, is that on the city?
It's on the
because I mean, think about it, guys. If I'm a private industry, though, if I'm a private company, I don't want to do that. I don't want to rely on the government or really any other entity else. I want to control my own network end to end. I want to do the work. I want to build my own circuit, and I want to control my own network. I mean,
I've encountered
that's how I control the user experience.
And I've seen time and time again where private companies are just, like I don't rather not rely on government if we don't need to, but time and time again, private companies look for ways to cut costs.
Yeah, I've seen private companies let their
profits, and from AT&T shutting down 5G Plus at night to Verizon cutting customer service to, I don't know, and pick any number of examples with these carriers, T-Mobile and their data breaches, not investing in their security, whatever. Time and time again, we run into these issues where, maybe that is something that we should be trying.
I've seen,
but then against government interference with that kind of thing.
On the other side of that coin, you expect government's going to innovate?
No, they never have.
So that's why I expect that once they build it, it'll stay stagnant for the next 2 centuries.
Look at our rail system.
Which is why.
Hold on, guys. I think Pete's trying to say something.
In general, for the past 50 years, when it came to the semiconductor revolution, government was the sponsor that yielded innovation. The internet was...
That's true.
ARPANET, the Advanced Research for the Military. It was also NISTnet, which is the National Institute of Science Technology. It was also a system where public universities connected to each other. When it was open for private people to build on that infrastructure, we hit what we are doing now. An international committee is what forms and it's a government committee, is what forms the standards of what we are looking forward to with what 5G can become. The issue isn't government, it is government not being able to fund thinkers who research and create output. COVID vaccines, for example. Moderna and Johnson & Johnson here in the U.S., they were not going to create varied vaccines like Pfizer did, but the U.S. government funded their vaccine research for COVID. So
perhaps perhaps they should do that with telco then. What they did. I mean,
that was proposed, under the Bush administration, and they said no. Where's the private involvement? And it was shot down by them.
Well, I think there's been public investment in expansion of the internet. There was the bill that got passed under the Biden administration here over the last few years to expand, internet connectivity across the country. So I think I think it's working. The mobile network operators, you got Comcast, you got Spectrum, all these guys, Optimum, they are expanding the networks. People do have more choice than they did 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And the connectivity and the performance.
Area, and I live in a place that has either Comcast or AT&T 25 megs down and 5 megs up.
But the networks aren't finished. Like, the expansion's not done. I don't.
You're right. People have more choices than they used to.
Yeah, it's not done. 5G's only like 2 or 3 years old, guys. We're not talking about a finished product yet. So the expansion is still rolling out.
I will never be on a fixed wireless full time. Give me wired all the way, fiber, whatever.
And I agree. I think that's the best option. But
5G is 4 years old.
Not mid-band 5G. Not mid-band. Millimeter wave that everybody was laughing at. But
Yeah,
Like
the millimeter
like
wave
the-
trial came out in 2019.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that wasn't something that was ever designed or intended to be a nationwide product. I mean, Verizon never came out and said we want to put this out nationwide. So now that mid-band is out there and people expect this to be a nationwide rollout, I mean, it's not done. Verizon just got started last year. So I mean,
millimeter
I
wave.
just think we got to be we be patient.
Yeah, millimeter waves for basically high occupancy areas such as like stadiums, downtown buildings.
Agreed. So I mean, if we know that to be true, and I agree, then I mean, I think it's fair to say, the mid-band rollout just got started with the two largest carriers last year, and Verizon's already 200 million pops covered by the end of the first quarter this year, and that's the fastest rollout ever. I mean, I just think people have got to be a little bit patient as far as the wireless rollout, but even to the point, AT&T is rolling out their fiber. Verizon is rolling out their Fios product and within their ILEC footprint. I mean, it's happening, guys. It's happening. So a lot of progress going on right now. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, that's true. It's rolling out pretty quick. Verizon has shown how quick they can deploy this N77. They've been deploying it really quick, man. I'm surprised at how many pops they've already got covered. Yeah. I really wish. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real, bro. I really wish that T-Mobile had more money to be able to do a rollout like this, because we still need them to be a liable player. A lot of people keep forgetting that. All they care about is just, their little pocket that they have a good speeds, good networking and stuff, and then that's it. But what about the rest of the nation that needs to have that stable connectivity like you're experiencing? If they had that, they would be a real threat to Verizon and AT&T, where then you can get more bang for your buck. How people say that, oh yeah, Verizon costs too much money. Well, if T-Mobile stepped up the game and actually became more of a player, instead of Verizon just looking at them as the sideline host still, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we wouldn't be having these issues. We would actually be seeing the competition wouldn't be about networking anymore. It would be about pricing.
Well, Los, I mean, you're absolutely right. But to your point, the American people can't have their cake and eat it too. If they want that kind of rollout, they got to pay for it. Everybody, the same thing that people get on AT&T and Verizon about, which is cost, they're also complimenting Verizon about, which is network performance. And you can't have both. You can't have cheap prices and the type of rollout Verizon's having. If people want T-Mobile to be a player like the Verizons and AT&Ts, then they're going to have to say, okay, T-Mobile, we're okay with you raising prices if you can perform like AT&T and Verizon. And the consumer, I don't think they want that. People want to have their cake and eat it too, and it's not practical, nor is it sustainable. So, I mean, we got to pick. And right now, T-Mobile is in a place where they can't charge what Verizon and AT&T are charging, because they got a price lock, and it's lifetime. So they made their bed. They're going to lie in it, and they're going to get the people who want to save money, and that's fine. But they're not going to be able to compete
price
financially because they've locked themselves in. They locked themselves in. I mean, it is what it is. They're never going to be a carrier that can compete. Say again?
Right now, I said they're going to drop that price lock soon. Right now, they're just legally obligated not to raise prices. Once that's over, they're going to jack prices up.
That's true, and I agree. And they should. It's bad business. Let's be honest. It's bad business.
In about half a month, because those conditions end April 1st. Because it'll be 3 years. And I mean, about half a month, I bet they drop that price lock.
And when it does, they should drop it. It's bad business. It's bad business. They're not able to compete. They lowered their capex from $13 billion to $8 billion, and we're expecting them to be able to compete with Verizon, who said we're going to drop ours from $23 billion to $20 billion. I mean, it's impossible to compete when your main competitor is spending $20 billion on their network and you're only spending $8 billion. It's impossible. So, Los, like, to your point, yeah, we need T-Mobile and yada, yada, yada. Okay, that's cool, but that's not their purpose in the industry. Their purpose is price control. That's their purpose. That's the purpose of that company, price control. They're not there for network prowess. That's not what they're there for.
And that's the thing, you can't run a business like that, bro. You can eventually you have to have a business be profitable, bro, always around. Like honestly, I think like we were talking about this price lock thing, of course it's gonna bite them in the ass. You're right, 100%. But at the end of the day, bro, instead of giving out these free lines, why don't you just give out the lines for $5? It's better to make $5 than it is to give it out fully free. You feel me?
Absolutely.
But
they're scared to take the.
Are they still doing all those free
scared,
lines? Or
no, they're not doing all those free lines anymore.
They're just honoring the ones they give out.
Yep,
guys. Yeah, like Lowe's Peak guys, they're afraid to take their foot off the gas financially as far as having the cheaper price points because they know their network isn't as good as AT&T and Verizon's is. They know
they have.
That's the reason why they continue with these.
They
have no choice.
Just like we were saying earlier, they're priced well within Verizon, so they're
very very close, but they're always but they're cheaper.
Their business plans are no taxes and fees included, no free lines, no auto pay discount, and they've been doing that for 2 years now.
Yeah, just added a line.
It's not sustainable, man.
It's no longer taxes and fees included.
Well, I mean, it's a good thing. I mean, I think you said that earlier, man. You were saying that a lot of that stuff is starting to erode slowly but surely. And I called that because, again, it's not sustainable for them to continue running their business the way that they are. They have no shot at competing long-term with Verizon and AT&T if they continue to have such a large gap between their CapEx and that of T-Mobile, AT&T and Verizon. You just can't have that big of a gap and expect to compete. I mean, we're talking about a company in T-Mobile that doesn't even have their own fiber network. They don't even control the network end to end. They rely on other carriers to connect their stuff. I mean, it's not sustainable, man.
You know a way to get rid of taxes for all carriers?
Get rid of taxes?
Yep, exactly. Get rid of taxes.
Yeah, right. I don't think taxes are going anywhere.
Tea Party. These taxes are
0% taxes on 0 taxes on everything.
Who's going to pay for the new services though? Those new services, like for example, 988, that's now included in your bill. So if you don't have those taxes and fees, those government programs aren't available. Those taxes and fees don't pay for 911 services.
Get rid of the taxes.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but it's not going to happen.
They can fund all these services they want if they just stop giving out the trillions of dollars every year around the world to countries that hate us.
Exactly.
So guys, I checked out the stuff. So they still are giving out the third line. They still are giving a third line for free. Still.
I mean, we're giving out financial aid to China, of all places.
Yeah. Yeah, guys.
Does China really need financial aid?
Now, mind you, that aid payment gets more congressional support than free lunches for children in the U.S.
Right, which is complete bullshit. The important stuff that we should be funding gets looked over, but we could send out money all over the world to financially stable countries.
We can spend billions of dollars sending weapons to a certain European country that we're not even involved in.
Keep it chill.
Hey, again, that gets better congressional support than an FCC commissioner.
Get rid of Congress.
We compete, man. Let's see here. So
the problem with that too is we should be all or nothing. We're playing a middle ground, wasting money. All in full on war or nothing. End the problem now.
Exactly.
So let's see what MS has been saying here in the comment section.
Where they belong on the U.S. border.
It's hard, man, in the telco space just because. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna go over this comment real quick. What MS had to say right here. So he's saying TDS has been using a price lock for 12 years, and they're growing year after year. Price locks do garner customer loyalty, and if you don't have to pay to reacquire a customer, that's money that can be used elsewhere.
So TDS,
How do you guys feel about that?
Can someone please tell me what company? Can someone please tell me what company TDS is? I just want to make sure.
TDS is a broadband provider that also owns US Cellular, but their primary business as TDS Telecom is fiber to the prem for residential and enterprise and business and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Are they a nationwide carrier?
No, regional.
No.
Okay, so I think it's apples to oranges then. And the reason why I asked those questions, I wanted to get to that. So it's apples to oranges. If you're a regional carrier, you're only responsible for a certain portion of the country, then it would be more feasible for you to do a price lock. But if you're trying to do it nationwide from sea to shining sea, it is extremely difficult to keep up when you've locked in how much money you're going to be able to accrue every single year. Unless you're willing or unless you're able to grow customers year over year, every year. And the only way you can do that is to keep your prices cheap. And I
know
mean,
what the problem
it is.
The United States is just too big. We should break up the United States. That way the carriers don't have to worry about coverage.
Oh, come on, man. No.
Come on, no.
Come on, bro.
So the US Cellular on MS's comment. Hold on. Let me just enter in here. Someone who lives in an area where TDS is pretty prevalent. They have been bleeding customers from US Cellular year over year over year, to the point where they have gone as far as to start an advertising campaign telling people to use their phones less. And it's no joke. You can look it up. Their new ad campaign is to...
So is it working then?
I don't think so, bro. They're bleeding customers all over the place.
So if the price lock isn't working for that business, then why do we think it will work at the nationwide scale with the T-Mobile? It's just not sustainable, especially when you know customers are going to use more and more data year over year. They're not going to stop using their stuff. They're not going to stop upgrading phones, and the demand's not going to stop. You have people, these companies and these small, everybody's building new apartment buildings, all this stuff. The network topology and topography changes every single year, month over month sometimes. So these carriers are never going to be able to stop building. So how do you lock in your price? You can't.
State of Alabama.
You just can't. You can't, man. You can't. It's not sustainable to do it that way, and that's why I'm not mad at Verizon. I'm not mad at AT&T, but specifically, I mean, even if they have to lose a few customers, at the end of the day, it's about cash flow and profitability in an industry like telecom, where it's capital intensive. You have to build all the time. The build doesn't stop. So if I get a little bit smaller, but I can gain in the MVNO space, I can gain in the prepaid space. Okay, well then let me do that, because I can't afford to just be lowering prices to compete with a T-Mobile that is only able to invest $8 billion into their network in 2023. That's nothing.
Hold on, guys. Hey, Brian, hold on. Let me get this caller on. Let me get this caller on the line. Right. You guys can stay on the line, but let me get them on the line here. It says here they're from Pennsylvania. Hello, caller from Pennsylvania. Can we get a name? Hello, caller from Pennsylvania.
Let's just call myself ESO.
ESO?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, how's it going? How are you doing tonight?
Yep.
Good. I just stopped watching the stream, so I'm not hearing the delay. Now I hear just you. Good.
You want to get on this conversation that we're doing? How do you feel about this situation, about the carrier rollouts, the build outs between Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile? Well, I guess they're having a problem here.
Pennsylvania needs some better self-service or something, or I don't know.
Yeah, they ended up dropping out anyway. So. Oh well.
Fetterman Mobile.
Pennsylvania needs better internet funding. The state paid Verizon and AT&T to do a rollout, and they both did such a bad job. They're suing to get their money back.
Jesus, man.
I don't blame them. If a company doesn't do what they say they're going to do, they should get sued.
They should get, honestly, they should have to pay all the money back they got from funding. 100%, bro. Like
103%. They can pay.
Because it's not right. Like, Pete, wasn't there issues in the state of Colorado where they got state government funding companies and they didn't end up building out what they said?
Yeah, and then some of these cities took the money they were offering and did it their own damn selves. And it turned out pretty well after that.
Oh, I bet it did turn out pretty well.
I agree. You've got to make the penalties high enough that it hurts the companies. So like fining, this is on a slightly different topic, but say fining Facebook $100 million does nothing. If you find them $10 billion, that might be a different story.
I like how the EU does fines. It's not a static figure. It's a percentage of last year's gross, not net profit.
I agree.
No.
And I think the percentage should be about 50% of last year's profit.
I mean, if you want to bankrupt, if you want to bankrupt the company's fine. I mean, that's cool, but that's not going to solve the problem. That's not going to solve the issue. You're going to bankrupt that private company, and then you're still not going to get the services that you wanted.
In the EU, for violating the general right to be forgotten, the GDPR, it's 13%, and that is the highest fine they give.
13%?
Of gross. So if you grossed $1 billion, 13% is was that 130 million?
Yeah, it's a good chunk.
Yeah, that is. Dang.
I mean, I'm all for holding companies accountable for what they do and don't do. I think there's definitely a place for that, and I agree 100%. But I don't know, man. Call me crazy, but I don't think that America should really be so upset at these ISPs right now and these wireless companies. They're doing what they said they would do. Specifically, T-Mobile and Verizon have been kicking cables behind and making them reinvest in their networks. I mean, competition is working.
Just make dishonesty hurt. Like then you wouldn't incentivize dishonesty.
I agree with you. I mean, I think there's a case for that. I just I hope that when we look, 10 years, 15 years from now, when we look back at this time period, I hope people look at the wireless companies and they applaud them because they really are pushing us forward really, really well. And in terms of accessibility to the internet, it's working, guys. It's working. Like it's working. I don't think we should be collectively upset. It's working.
What about this right here? The threat of jail sentence for executives that defraud state governments out of money intended for build-outs might spur them to fix the build-out ASAP. How do you feel about that? Maybe you
tell the politicians.
I like it.
That could work.
That might work. But I was going to say that if we're going to hold CEOs accountable, let's make sure we also do the same for politicians because they've been riding, scot-free for decades, and most of these guys have committed more fraud than the private industry leadership has. But the only people that seem to, go ahead.
Also, another thing you should do is make politicians a completely voluntary position, no pay.
I don't know if we should go that far to no pay, but I definitely think there's term limits.
Put them on minimum wage.
Then a politician would have people wouldn't want to be in politics, so you wouldn't get those crackpots in politics.
We wouldn't get anybody. You wouldn't get anybody. Who wants to do that job for free? I wouldn't do it for free.
Trump did it.
Well, who cares? Who cares that much? Who cares that much? Who cares that much?
Trump did not do it for free. The governor of Colorado, Jared Polis, is doing it for free.
Oh.
I know in New Hampshire they only get $100 plus gas. to go
Well,
to be politicians.
both of them, Pete, they're actually doing because they both donate their salaries, every paycheck to the whatever, funding that they give it to, that.
Bolas has its salary going directly into the general fund for the state.
I know that a lot of when 45 donated his stuff, a lot of it went to the vets. I know that.
Mhm.
That's where mainly it went to, but
let's not get into this story.
But yeah,
I like EM Tech's little thing. Give me that 50 gig backhaul on there.
The what?
I know.
The
I know where that 50
backhaul?
gig backhaul comment came from.
Under his name.
Oh, the 50 gig backhaul. Oh my God, not that 50 gig backhaul again. Jesus. All right, guys, we got another caller coming in.
Majority of America.
It's gonna be Michael Pepper Tech. He's about to come in the queue right here. Michael Pepper Tech, you're on the line. You're on the live. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing good, Carlos. Doing good. Been enjoying the conversation and had some thoughts about in my area, in my neck of the woods. I live in middle area of Michigan, and the problem here is there's no competition.
None?
So ISPs are, you have one choice. As far as even with wireless cellular providers, I mean, thanks to you, you've let me test AT&T and Verizon lately and let me, hop on eSIM and stuff a couple of times, and nothing's really changed. Originally, it was all Verizon. That's all you could get everywhere. Now, Verizon's kind of hit or miss. AT&T's kind of hit or miss. T-Mobile is basically the only option as far as coverage from where I go to traveling to see family and stuff. And it's not necessarily the fastest, but then in the areas where Verizon's better, the other two don't have it. In the areas where AT&T is better, the other two don't have it. It's hit or miss. Spectrum is the lock-in of the apartment here.
I've seen that
you
in
don't
some
really
markets,
have any
actually.
choice, and so there's no competition.
So you're saying in your neck of the woods, you got to have
I think
all three carriers.
I think that's hopefully going to change. Again, the 5G rollouts aren't complete for AT&T or for Verizon yet. So hopefully, as we get towards the fourth quarter this year and then into 2024, you start to see some improvements in those spaces. I haven't been to that area of Michigan. Most of the time when I'm in Michigan, I'm in the Detroit area where Verizon is really, really good. But all of the root metrics testing and everything that I've seen, ookla and all that kind of thing, Verizon seems to do pretty well in the state of Michigan. So I don't know for sure. But, what I can say is hopefully things improve throughout the country as AT&T and Verizon continue to roll out their mid-band spectrum, because the only one that's finished pretty much of the three is T-Mobile. They had a 2-year head start. Verizon's catching up really, really quick. So,
if you're in an apartment, do you have access to either the T-Mobile or Verizon fixed wireless? Because I know I lived in an apartment for 2.5 years and did T-Mobile, and we had our cable provider in the apartment was only one, and that's the only thing you could get until T-Mobile fixed wireless came by, and then we had options.
So Verizon, no. T-Mobile, yeah, but only the 50 gig plan that they're doing. You pay the same price for it. They don't offer the unlimited.
Okay.
So it's pretty much no. They did for a while, and they're like, oh yeah, we can put in some other address, but then that creates problems eventually, and you have to call every other day because they're like, well, you're not actually at this address, and it created some frustration. So then Spectrum's the only option, and they've been okay, but then you're stuck under them, and then after the year, the prices go up substantially. So there's no competition for any of them, so what do they care? I mean, I know my brother just bumped from Xfinity to Verizon Home Internet, and he gets, $250, $300 down and $40, $50 up, and he loves it because he's paying the $25 a month where he was paying nearly $100 a month before to get about half those through Xfinity where he is. And so,
wait, how's he getting a 40 to 50 megabit upload when it's capped at 20?
I don't know. That's what he's been getting in his area.
It's not capped.
Well, no, if they're trying to get new customers in there, and
allowing higher because there's not a ton of people using that in his area.
No, the
If
Verizon
Verizon works where you are,
Yeah, because the home internet, like I'm
if
capped at
Verizon
20.
works where you are, have you thought about trying, like, visible or something, like doing a visible hotspot for your Wi-Fi?
Yeah, visible. Well,
Have I thought about that?
Yeah.
I have, but their cap limits is a problem, and their latency for doing
Their
live
latency-
streaming
their
and
latency
uploading
is
and
not a-
stuff like that. I'm
the
doing
latency-
work from home late soon, so it's a problem.
The
They use
latency is not a
Verizon's
problem
core
anymore.
now.
They use Verizon's core.
Oh,
And
interesting. I'll have to check that out.
Can't you bypass? I think you can bypass that 5 megabit a second link that limit by using an unlocked device, if I remember correctly.
You won't in the
You won't be
future.
able to. You
The
won't
real
be able to much
problem-
longer.
The real problem is here when I do speed tests on my phone, I'm lucky if I get 2 or 3 megs up on Verizon anyways. So
Hopefully that changes because it
I hope
sounds
so.
like
I
you're
mean,
being.
the towers down the
So-
road, if I go about 5 miles down the road or so, I'm getting the high-speed towers, like, for example, T-Mobile. I've done some speed tests getting 1.2 to 1.4 gigabits down and, like, 75, 100 up.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
they
I'm
could
sure-
do
I'm sure-
home internet, fixed wireless here, and move some towers in just a little bit closer. It'd be nice.
Yeah, I'm sure. If things continue to roll out for both of those companies, AT&T and Verizon, hopefully that improves. For the area of Michigan that you're in. Yeah, I hope so.
The crazy thing is there's people that live in the houses around here. They have AT&T fiber, and I see the points, like the pipelines right down in their front yard, for bringing those all in. But Spectrum has the lockdown. They pay to have strict access to them. And
How close do they live?
Crazy.
Because you might. How close do they live? Because you might be able to do you might be able to talk to one of your neighbors or whatever in a house and do like a beam, one of those like Airlink, like Ubiquity Airlink things.
that would be nice. We're probably going to be moving soon here, and I'm hoping where we move is going to be up the road, so they might have different access. It's weird because you look online and it's like, oh, then you get a hold of the carrier, and there's WOW around here, and there's AT&T, and there's other options, but they don't offer it because we're in an apartment, and this particular apartment has apparently made deals with Spectrum to only allow them here, and hopefully that's changed. I mean, I know that it was supposed to change, but then of course that gets vetoed because we can talk. I don't want to go too political, but of course, they paying the politicians and
Spectrum
doing all that fun stuff.
Spectrum, I heard soon is supposed to go symmetrical. They're going to go symmetrical.
That'd be nice because I would take instead of having 940 down and 40 up, I would take like 100 by 100 or 200 by 200.
Yeah, they're gonna start
prefer
rolling
the
that
upload
out.
speed versus the download.
Xfinity's already starting to do that, where there's places where it's 1 gigabit, the 1200 megabits, and then like 200, I believe, up. Carlos.
See, but the thing is, bro, is at the end of the day, man, you could have 2 gigs down, but what infrastructure that you connect to, websites or anything in general, are going to take advantage of those speeds when the servers are capped to a certain, speed.
It's not that people are complaining about, Carlos. It's the fact that when you're stuck on an ISP like I am, you're capped at 25 megabits uplink. When servers can do 100.
Well, yeah. When it comes to those, yeah. But your average, the thing is we're that 10%. I would say I'm going to give 10% just to give a high number that need the higher upload. The rest of the people, bro, they can still do their Zoom calls just fine and everything, and they don't know that they have 30 upload. You know what I'm saying? To them, it don't matter.
I'm still of the opinion that no one needs over 100 by 100.
Not yet.
I did a research poll for my area where Spectrum was talking about doing 2.5 gig in our area for down and increasing upload speeds. And I was like, get on it.
Hey guys,
what's up, Pete?
I'm out of bed.
All right, bro. Thank you for coming in, bro. Appreciate you. Have a good
What-
night, man.
Good talking.
Hope you have a good
to all
night.
ya.
Have a good night, Pete.
And who was trying to talk to me? Somebody was saying, "Hey, Dave," but I couldn't hear what they said.
I was saying that for people that need 100 plus megabit downlink, I guess you've never downloaded big files like games or whatever, or had a lot of people at your house.
No, about the biggest files I've downloaded were like ISO images, so like for Windows and stuff like that.
Which are 10 gigs
So
alone.
4 or 5 gigs at most.
Nope, Windows ISOs are like not 8 gigs.
Bro, but even
Oh,
then,
wow,
if
that's
the
been a while
server,
then. Okay.
but even then, if the server that you're downloading from could be capped at like what is it? I'm just gonna throw an example. It could be capped at 200. It can only give you up to 200 down. So what does it matter if you have a gig?
Yep.
Most Windows servers are doing 1
Yeah,
gig.
my internet connection is 50 by 10, and I'm perfectly fine with it.
I have lived the 50 by 10. No, not doing it.
Well, that's
See,
because
the thing, though, is
that's
that
your
I wish
preference. At the end of the day, you know, the average
Instead of-
person it will be fine.
Instead of increasing speeds, I wish that they offered the same speeds but at cheaper prices. So, like, instead of going, say, from 50 by 10 to 100 by 10 to 200 by 10, why don't they just keep you at 50 by 10 and lower your price from, say, 50 to 40 to 30 to 20 to 10, so you're paying like $10 a month for 50 by 10? That'd be nice.
They're not going to. You live in the wrong country.
Of course they're not. But that would be nice as hell.
They're not going to.
It's like, I don't need
Fortunately.
300, but I could definitely use a $10 internet bill.
It's just like me
See?
telling, hey,
I
it's
was
like me
thinking
telling my
before.
electric company, hey, I know I burn this X amount of electricity, but can I have a 150 instead of a $300 electric bill? No, they're gonna tell me to go eat dirt and fart dust.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pay up.
They're going
or
to tell you to
whatever
build your own
want.
electric company. They're going to tell you to put solar panels on your roof.
No, they're not. They
Well,
know-
gentlemen, thanks
they
for
don't-
letting me be a part of the conversation. I will be in the chat watching the rest of it. Have a good evening, guys.
All right, Michael
have a nice
Pepper.
day.
Thank you. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for coming in and being
Of
a
course,
caller.
Carlos.
Thank you.
You know, I got you.
Thank you, bro.
The only question I have for you is, why is your name Michael Pepper Tech and not Lemon Pepper Tech?
Oh wow,
Oh wow.
bro, you have to hit him like that when he was leaving. Come on, man.
Damn. That's not good. You better be careful. Kazi might be watching.
Yeah, he might put you on probation.
Exactly.
But I don't know. I mean, Brian, do you really think, bro, that T-Mobile don't have a chance to at least step up their game a bit, bro? That they're just gonna be the price conscious
No, I don't.
carrier and that's it?
That's correct. That's exactly what I think. Unless they
Yeah.
make a concerted effort to try to increase the price point, then yes. And if they increase the price point, they have to change their entire, marketing strategy, the entire, the entire plan that they have as far as how they go to market.
Bro, when
because
this-
their pricing strategy just isn't. It's not sustainable.
Bro, the way the T-Mobile
And again-
price is, it's wolf tickets. It's wolf tickets.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's what it is. It may be wolf tickets to you and I agree, but that's their go-to-market strategy, and the strategy has produced $8 billion is what their capex is for 2023, which is lower than what it was at $13 billion. So, I mean, if they can't keep up, and going from 13.8 tells me they can't keep up with Verizon, who's also lowered from 23 to 20 or whatever. I mean, if you can't keep up now, then how are you going to have any chance of overtaking them or even getting to being at par with the, Verizons and the AT&Ts of the world? How are they going to do it?
They're not going to be able to.
So why
No
not?
chance.
So
Yeah,
why
it's just
not
no chance.
why not all carriers slow down the network build and lower prices? And the reason I say that is because nobody is using the entirety of what 5G can offer. Anyway, So why not just slow down the network build and say instead of building 5G in 2 years, you build 5G in 4 years and lower the price?
Because you get that, you need to get every tower monitorized for the standalone network core, dude. I mean, what do you want? We already have enough problems with the ISPs sitting on their tails. We need competition in this country.
Exactly.
Things
I mean,
on.
Exactly, and that costs money. So it's like if you asking them to do that, it's essentially saying why not be like Comcast and Spectrum have been the last 20 years. I mean, the American people collectively sometimes we're all over the place.
That's very true.
One minute we want innovation, the next minute we want cheaper price. You can't have it all. And the American people are we're collectively wired to want it all. We want all these speeds and we want to pay $10 a month for it, and it's not feasible. These companies have to be profitable because guess what? Somebody has to fund these higher salaries that everybody wants.
And you know what I
call pay, but you want to pay $10 a month for everything.
And you know what I call
it's impossible.
You know what I call that? I call that it pays to play. That's
exactly. You got to pay for it. And it's like, I mean, you have to pay for it. And if you don't, then that's fine. Say you don't want to pay for it, but then stop asking for innovation. Stop asking for expansion of internet availability because you can't have both. You got to pay for it.
It's like my mobile command center that I do that has all my mobile stuff. I had to spend $3,000 to have an actual really good competitive setup so I can export videos better. It paid to play. I mean, I didn't have the $3,000 at the time, but I wrote it off as a business expense, and I'm paying it off in the long term.
Well, that's great. That's a great idea, man. I'm happy for it. That's real cool. That's great.
Yeah, running a tech channel like Sneed does, like Carlos does, it don't come cheap either.
Heck no, man.
Carlos, you know best.
But you know what?
But we both do.
I am definitely in the I'd rather pay less and have slightly slower innovation because at least personally, I find that we get fast enough speeds that it doesn't really matter anymore. We're fighting over 1.5 gig. We're fighting over 1 gig and 2 gig and 5 gig, and it's like, okay.
But I mean, I hear you, but the use cases aren't there to support those speeds yet. The same narrative was had when 4G was being built. We don't need it until Google Maps and until streaming services and until the use cases aren't here yet. But that doesn't mean they're not on the way.
And
so
even
you build the infrastructure and you allow.
Oh snap! Wes. I said even then, 4G LTE in some places can't even keep up. So you need this innovation of 5G.
But that's how it was now. But in 2010, before the use cases came out, everybody was saying we don't need all these LTE speeds either. So me personally, I don't listen. Yeah, man, I don't listen to people collectively telling me what they need when it comes to technology. They don't. Consumers, we don't know what we need yet. The use cases aren't here. We're thinking about now.
Well, it's just like in Houston when they held a conference and an event, because there were so many people and there was not an actual 5G core yet. The LTE core literally straight up on Verizon, all of them, including T-Mobile, just straight up crashed. No data. Couldn't handle the load of 2 million people.
Yep.
You essentially had all the humans DDoSing the network.
The hardest thing we have is high fidelity ZR, and that's 4K and 2i, so that's 50 megabits a second. Is the highest thing we have that one person can do.
Well, if 4K, depending on what if it's a live feed, it can go. Depending on the 4K quality, it can go actually up to 100 megabits per second, and then don't even get started on high dynamic range. Because Carlos, doesn't your 360 camera use around 50 megabits per second at the average of 20? Between 25 and 50.
I need at least minimum 10. consistent.
Yeah. I was just talking about like a fluctuation average scale, not like consistency, but consistency when streaming is a key too.
Depends, bro. Depends.
I've seen the network heater at my house with Comcast suddenly tank a few times, and when I'm streaming and it tanks below 5, things just start pinging and just get bad. And it wears my system down because my system has to resend them packets.
We would have plenty of look at what Ricky's saying. We would have plenty of bandwidth if speed tests are banned.
He's not
That's
wrong.
a very good point.
That's a very good point. He's not wrong.
That is a pretty good point.
But the American people asked for that. The American people asked for transparency. They asked to have the ability to test speeds without having to ask their ISP to test the speed. So, I mean, again, American people, we're collected. We're all over the place. I mean, we're all over the place. As soon as innovation comes out, then...
But, dude, right
Okay,
now,
what if
there
they
are
cap
people...
speed test?
There are people that speed test and blow through 200 gigs on speed test alone in a month. They just do it just for the pleasure.
There's always going to be...
What if they what if everybody capped speed test at 25 megabits a second?
Hold on, guys. We have a caller here from Texas. Let me bring him on the line. All right, caller from Berlin, Texas. You're on the line. Could we get a name?
Yeah, Erwin.
What's up, Erwin?
What's going on?
What's on your mind, bro?
No, I don't know. So far, what I have is like, kind of use a comparison and see what everybody's opinion is. I remember the days of dial-up. I know that was a while.
Oh, damn.
And subconsciously or not, people had to know how to pre-plan if they wanted something and waited for a while to be downloaded or whatnot.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, there was this one game that was able to pre-download on pre-launch. And I guess that helps to alleviate the network. There's so much things we could change our habit to. I know I'm going like all over the place right now with my thoughts.
No,
but
no, you're good.
Man, I remember I did a test. I put a open WRT on a router, and I set it to only run at 1 megabits per second.
Oh, Lord.
And, yeah. Because, I feel like where I'm going with this is like, I feel like we should all have like, instead of looking at increasing at the top end, which is nice and fancy to say and see, we should always improve the bottom line, the minimum specs. So, I was looking for other carriers that would support higher than 2G throttle bandwidth to see how good would still be to stream.
Yeah.
And it don't exist.
And I was able to stream 780p without buffering with 1 megabit.
Yeah, if the network can...
One time, not too long ago. Huh?
I said if you get a consistent 1 megabit, yeah, you can do it. You can do 720p streaming. That's no problem. Because like I have our guest Wi-Fi here at the house is set that way. It's set that way where, so like you go a certain distance. If you're on top of the router, you're gonna get nice speeds. You're gonna get maximum at night of 60 by 20, but when you're away from it, like in the front yard, 200 feet away from the router, it's going to cap you all the way down to 15 by 3. And I purposely did that on that network. So that network, it's the further away you are, the slower it gets. And you may get 2 bars down at the street, but you don't get a data session out of it because you're just too far away from the connection link.
Why not turn on?
I mean, that's the normal default.
Because I got equipment that requires 2.4.
You still got equipment that requires 2.4, bro?
Yes.
Whoa.
The weather equipment requires 2.4.
Come on, Los. Come on, Los. Don't do
Yeah,
them like
bro,
that.
I got IoT stuff that needs 2.4
is
still.
old garbage. Time to upgrade.
Come on, bro. We're in
Well, you know what?
2023.
Hey,
that was
Dave,
on the
you
whole
can,
internet.
hey, Dave, you can cash at me $300 and I'll upgrade, sir.
I don't have
man.
Cash App.
So then,
man.
otherwise
Do you
don't tell
take
me to
crypto?
upgrade.
That's fired.
Do you
That's
take crypto?
fired.
I don't do things that the NSA was the one that created the 256-bit encryption for all cryptocurrency in this country.
Yes, but cash that is
Not all
directly
crypto.
monitored and observed by the government is totally fine.
So
Openly.
How do you feel about this from Mr. Sam is saying right here?
Monero.
Says, I hate when YouTubers upload 60 FPS, especially when all the footage is 30 frames or slower, making streaming over a cellular network suck.
No, what?
I agree.
I personally
You agree?
Or either YouTube should build a option where even if you're streaming something 60, you can still watch it at 30 to reduce bandwidth, especially for mobile.
Yeah, especially if you're on iPhone, YouTube reduces that thing.
honestly the
Yeah.
only time 60 FPS actually makes a difference is in like video game footage. That's my hot take. If you're shooting like actual camera
I
content,
agree.
30 frames is fine.
That ain't a hot take. That's
I
actually
agree.
fact. I mean, I keep my stuff at 60, but that's me. But my videos are not 10 plus minutes
Man,
long.
Ricky's saying that 60 frames per second don't use that much bandwidth. Actually, that's not true, bro. It actually uses a lot more bandwidth.
You
Because
got,
I live
you
stream
got
on
double the
60
frames, so you
FPS.
got double the footage.
Yeah.
60
Oh.
FPS,
So your
4K is an
So when
average stream feed is 25 megabits per second.
So when I'm live streaming on between 720/30 and 720/60, I literally need about another 4 megs per second more bandwidth to be able to stream steady. That's if I want to keep it clean and steady. Now, I can do it with another extra meg for the 720/30, but it's always going to be buffering, it's going to be choppy, cut, and all that.
Now, Carlos, when you're watching a video on YouTube and it's an SDR quality, and you're on ultra wideband, it pulls down at around 150 to 200 megabits to buffer ahead around 120 seconds.
Yeah, it still requires a little bit more bandwidth, I mean, I would say like 3-4 megs to be steady,
But like internally here, when I shoot videos and whatever, when I'm editing and everything, they're in ProRes. But then when y'all get them on YouTube, they're compressed down to H.265 codec. I do the H.265 because it doesn't eat that much bandwidth at all. So a typical H.264 is around a gig, and depending on how long it is, and Wes could speak more on this because he gets into footage stuff. But H.265 is more compressed, but you can keep a 60 FPS 4K video, and it doesn't eat as much bandwidth.
And honestly, bro, I've done videos.
Video.
So like I've compared videos, like especially with live streaming, I've done both, 1080 and 720, bro, and you really don't see that much of a difference. Only when you do 60 frames you'll notice a little bit, but it's nothing crazy to where it's gonna go crazy. The only thing the 60 is for is just if you're moving a lot, it keeps it smooth. It looks smoother. That's it. Other than that, bro, if you're just walking, normal walking and shit, 30.
More clear.
Yeah. With 30 in darker situations, it's brighter.
That lies another question, is that 720 versus 1080 versus 4K, the file size is so much larger and the bandwidth needs are so much larger. And YouTube is YouTube is supposedly free, although we know it's not. Why upload huge?
Dave, that depends on the
upload
codec.
these huge files when 720 is most of the time out?
Dave, that depends on to the codec.
Well, that
what codec are you talking first? Are we talking ProRes? Are we talking
frames per second, no
H.264?
matter what codecs and bandwidth, it's double of whatever you're using.
H.265 and H.266 are not going to use that much bandwidth. They're actually reducing it. H.265 reduces it.
But it doesn't matter. The file size is still huge.
Codecs for each other, it's always double.
And
but
at the end of the day,
if you shoot a 720, good.
And at the end of the day, guys, we're watching. Most of the people that are watching this content, they're watching it from a little 6.5, 6.8, let's say 7-inch screen at the most. Are you really going to notice that much of a difference between 720/60 and 1080/60? Let's say, no, or even 4K 60, no.
Unless
the
you're
screen's
real
too small.
No.
The screen is way.
Other than that,
Bro, like the only time you'll ever notice a difference is if you're literally putting it up on your big screen TV and then watching it from there. Then yeah, of course you're gonna notice a difference. You know, because it's a lot of real estate. You know, versus just a little thing that you're holding on your hand.
Put it up on it up on a 60-inch TV and you're gonna notice it. You put it on a 6-inch phone and you're not.
That's where I'm gonna wholeheartedly disagree with every single person here. There's a very stark difference between 720p and 1080p, and I will take that to the bank.
Even
but
with
4K, you can throw out the 4K, especially for mobile devices. But 1080p I think should be a minimum nowadays.
I mean, you notice a little bit of a difference, but it's nothing that you're gonna go cry over.
No, I'm not gonna cry over it. But Carlos, when I went from the iPhone 11 to the 13 Pro Max, I can see, even though I have my visual impairment, that phone actually I saw more clarity with that display than I saw on the iPhone 11. Even though the iPhone 11 is higher than a 720p, it's actually a 750p display. The 13 Pro Max is almost at 1440p.
I just don't. I don't understand how the
matters most on a.
Why is our conversation changing from going backwards?
iPhone. They're better than Android phones.
What do you mean?
Why are we all of a sudden talking about reducing the quality of the content that we stream and watch? I understand the storage constraints and I understand the usage constraints.
Some people are not using the appropriate setting for the appropriate content.
Okay, and that's their choice, but
that's their choice.
But for YouTube to arbitrarily limit the bandwidth, the quality at which any user can stream content, just because some people, and I think it's a very small amount of their user base, decides to stream at 4K on a 720p display or whatever, that's not fair to the rest of us who do see a difference in 720p to 1080p or 1440p or whatever. Everyone's different. But the fact that they will choose to either gatekeep or paywall features or just remove them entirely just isn't fair. I'm just being real.
But yeah, and I don't see them doing that EM either.
Well, like Ricky's saying, every time YouTube is changing its stuff from 1080 to 480 right now, did it 3 times on the stream. But this stream is just a podcast. On a podcast is not going to matter. I understand if you're watching somebody live, let's say doing something, then okay, I can see it, changing would suck automatically. But this is just an audio only podcast in a way.
And it should not change, Ricky, if you're on 5G ultra wideband.
I've got 0p because I'm on a cell phone, I'm on a telephone call, so I've got 0p and it's still working fine.
And your point is?
Point.
You got one.
For this in this application, it doesn't matter. But exactly. I'm saying in general.
Yeah, what's up, Brian?
Is he still here?
No, he's not actually. He told us I'm running the show for him right now at the moment.
Okay.
Still 5 hours long.
Yeah.
It's up to you guys. If you guys want to call it down, then we can call it down, bro. It's up to you guys basically on how to keep it engaged. Sneed would be cool with it, as long as we keep it appropriate. You feel me?
Yep. But like EM, even when I'm like sitting, when I was doing stuff on the iPhone 11 versus the 13 Pro Max, I definitely noticed a difference, especially when it came from the MacBook Air 13-inch to the MacBook Pro 16-inch. Yes, the display is bigger, but I also noticed the quality difference.
Yeah,
I think
and
PPI
I think
is
there's
what does that.
yeah, I mean PPI on smaller displays is what really matters, but we're eventually going to hit a cap as far as like investment in these OEMs and putting in higher quality displays, and I think 1440p is the cap. Really, is what we're going to see, because quite frankly, 90% of people can't tell the difference between 1440p and 4K, anyways. Like, and even then, you need a bigger screen.
And even and like, I know people that are supporting 8K quality stuff on their channel, and I'm not doing that yet because of the fact that I haven't, had the need yet, but also I haven't had anyone ask me. And then I've seen, on other YouTube channels that have millions of followers, almost a million, a few tech channels, they do 8K, but they're filming outside doing their videos when it's nice out.
And I got a lot of heat for this when I brought this up the last time this conversation came up. And I said that if users are going to want to host 8K content or even a full library of 4K content on YouTube, they should have to pay to do that. Because channels like Sneed or Carlos or RFK or anybody like that is the majority of their content is in 1080p or maybe 4K for some videos. It's not fair for those huge, large channels that are hosting just a crap ton of video content to ruin it for the rest of us.
We also
won't happen,
don't have access to the internal calculation on how much it costs Google either.
I think if you want to host 4K content or 8K content like that, I think that you should be forced to host it on your own server with your own hard drives, and then YouTube would just redirect the person in the background to your server and pull the stream from your server.
Well,
I mean,
that's a good
don't even
concept.
need YouTube anymore than if you did that.
True. Yeah, people could just host it themselves.
That way what happens is that the creators see how much bandwidth it eats up and how much storage it eats up.
These creators...
And they can see...
These creators, Dave, know how much bandwidth it eats up because a lot of them on the backside are messing with Apple ProRes. And I don't know if you've seen an Apple ProRes file. It's huge.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody wants context, go watch Linus Tech Tips, because he hosts his own video platform called Floatplane. They go into a deep dive on the cost of all that stuff.
Yeah, hold on. I got a caller on the line. Let's get him on here. Let's see. Caller, you're on the line. Can you? Caller, you're on the line.
How you doing? Yeah, this is Super Team here.
Hi, Lavendi. What's going on?
Well, you're talking about, 4K and 8K and all that, so I'm like, well, there's really no reason to have that, especially on a phone, or a TV, yeah, but 8K, this is complete overkill.
Hi, Lavendi. How are you doing?
Oh, does that sound like Lavendi? Oh.
It sounds like
Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can, sir.
Who is this?
Okay, yeah. I was talking about the 4K and 8K there, it's like definitely no problem. I mean, a different problem with 8K there, trying to watch them, that's gigantic file size there.
Yeah. Yeah, the file size is what...
that was my point there. Huh?
No, go ahead, continue. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I guess a little bit of delay here, but yeah, the 8K, some TVs can do the 8K, but most people are not going to have that. So trying to watch that is just, just a wasted bandwidth. Just there's no use for it right now.
Yeah.
Right now, my actual drive that holds all my media for the tech channel, all my clips and everything that I've edited in the last 90 days is only 200 gigs out of 1 terabyte. And that's 4K media.
Yeah, 4K is doable now, but 8K, there's just, how many people actually have an 8K television right now?
And I'm sorry, but where is the point where the human eye stops being able to notice the difference anyway? Because there's like a point where the human eye just can't discern the dang difference anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
We should ask
open.
My
voice. I'm from Georgia, so.
I believe the last time I checked, it's something ridiculous. Like you have to be on a 50-inch display, and at a certain resolution. I think it's 4K. Like the human eye physically cannot discern the difference unless the screen is larger than 50 or 55 inches.
Yeah, do they even have the projectors? They can do 4K now. I know not 8K, but do they have 4K projectors now?
Yeah. Yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah.
I can imagine so.
Yo, Weasel.
But that's just my 2 cents in about the 4K, 8K there. Most time 1440, like y'all were saying, is probably about good enough.
Because isn't the biggest screen you're probably ever going to see any content on a movie theater?
Yeah. Well, it depends. Unless you
Well,
want
you have projectors nowadays they're called short throw, but they could sit on your TV stand and give you a 120-inch display, less than a foot away from your wall.
Yo, Wes.
So Sam brought up a good thing here where he said it's a combo of the screen size and distance from the screen. That's true. That actually does make a lot of sense because, think about it, bro. Like, if you have a small TV, bro, and then you're distant from it too, it's not gonna look as sharp. You're not gonna notice the quality or anything compared to having a big TV with a bigger size TV in that same distance.
So here's how I kind of see it. First of all, TV, like overall broadcast TV, is still really not much past 1080. And really the reason why 1080 looks so bad is because it gets compressed down to the end user. If you guys were to see some raw 1080 footage from broadcast cameras, you would probably think it's 4K. It's, it just gets so compressed at the end of the day. But I think the advantages to like 4K and even beyond 8K is more so in the editing stage, to where you can, if let's say you have 4K or 8K footage, but you're only going to make a 1080 video, you'd be able to zoom in onto your footage like 8 times before, in theory, losing much noticeable quality.
Now, Wes, I know you get into production stuff, and you were gone, but I wanted to pick your brain. Which one is more data bandwidth hungry, H.264 or H.265?
264.
As a thought.
I was here. I was listening. I was just on the comments.
Have you gotten into, because No Radio got me tempted in this one. Have you looked into the H.266 that's coming?
I have not. I'll be honest, I wouldn't see it really being mainstream anytime soon, because as it is, H.265 is still just barely getting, supported on a lot of things.
No Radio was telling me that 8K stuff, that like a small 8K video that normally would be 4 gigs, H.266 is going to bring it down to around 2 gigs for an 8K file.
So I could see it definitely be way more useful for 8K. Put it in perspectives, let's say a 2-hour very good quality video in H.264 could be about 8 to 10 gigs, but that same exact file in H.265 format would be about 2 to 3 gigs, and you would have to be pixel peeping, and I mean like an inch away from the display to maybe even barely notice any differences. And even then, you got to be searching for the differences, and at that point,
you're crazy, you know.
What,
So
Carl?
we got a caller here on the line. Let's bring him in real quick. Let's see here. Hey, caller, how you doing? State your name. State you represent.
I'm doing well. This is
There we
Larry
go.
D. from Washington, D.C. It is an honor and a privilege to be on your esteemed panel this evening. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, hi. Who I think it is?
It's Lavendi. It's Lavendi.
Yeah, Lavendi,
Yeah.
I know you're not in DC,
Am I on the
sir.
panel? Can I go? This is something that irks me, and I just saw a beautiful, exquisite theatrical release of Ant-Man. Let me tell you, save you $15. Anyway, the reason I'm calling in is because why are we limiting ourselves? I think EM Tech said it. Did the Wright brothers create a plane and then stop there, and they never went further, and they never innovated, and they never did better? Did you have the first Apollo mission, and you never went farther, and you never did better? Why are we saying nonsense like, oh, nobody needs more than 15 megabits? This is a ridiculous idea. We need to be pushing ahead. We need to be innovating. We need to be doing better constantly, not hampering ourselves because I don't know why. I don't get it. So
Yo,
that's my little thing. I'm off my soapbox. I just wanted to put that in.
Yo,
what
Lavendi,
it is
you
for
would already
me
have X
is
too much.
we're getting what it is for me is that we're getting better at such a rate that the other things aren't keeping up with it. So like we're getting 2 gig and 5 gig speeds and things like that, and 10 gig speeds when we don't even have something capable of taking 1 gig right now. We don't
So,
even have
guys,
something capable of taking 500 meg.
So I want to answer here Tony White's question real quick. It says here, my dad went on a trip to Mexico and has Verizon's top plan. Can you tell me how many minutes and text and data he gets? He needs to be able to contact us here in the U.S. Well, the minutes and text are unlimited, but data, I think it's like 2 gigs a day, 2 gigs of high-speed data per day. Because it got changed from it used to be a half a gig a day, but they just changed it to 2. So hopefully that helps you out. All right, sorry about that, guys.
That's all good. Let's see. Yeah, that's my thing is that the bandwidth and the things are improving so much faster than what we're actually capable of pushing.
Carlos.
Well, fine, let it catch up, but at the same time, kick on all cylinders. All systems go. Let's keep pushing. Let's keep doing forward. I don't like this limiting stuff because it doesn't serve us. In the end, let's keep doing it. Let's implement it when we can, and let's keep pushing forward. And
Yeah,
I want to say is,
the Lavendi.
remember your creators. Give Carlos a cup of coffee, like the video, and support him, please.
Hey, Ricky
Lavendi.
Ricky posted on Twitter a difference between the stream at 360p versus 1080p. Carlos, the art that's on the background, that the drawing of the map, it gets all shaded out and dull, but then when it's at 1080p, it's all beautiful. There's a difference.
But you're talking about a picture, bro. Like, you know what? I guess we'll just have to do videos in comparison to see.
Yeah. Well, hey, Ricky, that's good conversation.
Let's put it this way, Mr. Lavendi. Thank you for joining in.
You know, that's a good conversation that Ricky should have on his channel. The difference between all the qualities.
So look, so you guys know I live stream. When I live stream, I either live stream on 720/30 because I don't want the live stream to keep cutting out. Every time I do 1080/60, it crashes, bro. So between 720/30 and 720/60, you guys notice a difference.
But then here's also that when you stream at 1080p 60, the only reason if we kept holding ourselves back on network upgrades, network in cores and servers and all that, and infrastructure when it comes down to internet speed, we would still be at 480p and streaming on our cable boxes.
Here's the thing: live streams need extremely solid connections, and it's easier for, let's say a 720p stream at 4 meg to be held, but then if you try to push 1080, it should be at least like 7-8 megs, and then that gets harder
Yeah.
to push consistently.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
because like even in my line of work, we live stream in some rural locations sometimes, and there's no way that we can push 1080 out on a single connection reliably. Even through Verizon, like we still have hiccups over, a long stream, so we either lower it down or bond it or
In
something.
some places,
So Ricky's
in
talking
some
about the
places
more
where you've got
FPS helps
freaking
blur.
25, 30.
So he's
See,
right. It does help
with
blur, but
yeah, because there's
only
more
but it's
frames in
only
your image, but
only when you're moving, like you're running or driving, like doing a drive scene or something like that. But if you're just literally walking on the sidewalk, doing your own thing, bro, you're not gonna notice it, bro.
and here's the other thing too: when you do a higher frame rate, if it's nighttime, you probably notice if you go from 1080 30 to 1080 60 or even 4K, images get darker because
Yes, they do.
your shutter speed, basically the time that the sensor exposes the image, and it's measured in seconds, it has to be doubled. So if you're at 30, your exposure time is like 1/60th of a second, but then if you go to like 60 frames, your exposure has to double, so it then is like 120th of a second. So the higher that goes, basically the darker your image get because the there's a big old, you can get technical, but yeah, that's another reason why you don't want to use high frame rates at night because you get darker images, and then that really is like a less clear of an image.
So, like, higher frame rates need lots more light.
They need more light, and also, technically speaking, a higher frame rate needs double the bandwidth because it's double the frame rate. So if you're, let's say, 1080 30 streaming at 7 meg, 1080 60, technically you should be streaming at 14 to compensate for that, the extra frames. Because otherwise, you actually might lose quality going to 60, even if you're properly lit.
Yep, because it would frame jump or skip or jitter.
And someone did mention too that they hate how people upload videos that are 60 but put 30 content in. That also causes a lot of technical issues too, because then the editing software has to like guess for a second frame rate, and you actually might have your video might actually look more jittery than it originally did because it's just guessing and throwing extra frames in.
Yep. That's why if you're gonna film in 60 frames, you edit with 60 frames. You're gonna film with 30 frames, you edit with 30 frames.
Yeah, and it kind of goes the same way too with it. It goes the same way too if you shot something 60 but made it a 30 video. It's gonna have to randomly guess and delete frames, so then that causes skips here and there too, like micro jitters and whatnot. So it's always best to just shoot at one quality, edit in that quality, and keep it. Unless you do unless resolution, that's a different story because you can shoot 4K and do 1080 and then zoom in and everything.
Yep. Well, guys,
I think we're just all trying to expand within we could do with current technology ourselves, even though we know there's more.
We need more AI, right?
That's why they're limiting, everything.
Well,
but anyways.
Look at Ricky. We need more AI, right? Yeah, you need it. Let's see here. Anthony, what's up, Anthony? Where's my 4K live stream? It ain't here, bro. It ain't here, unfortunately. It ain't here. What's up, Info Assistant? Let's see what Robbie says.
I ain't getting no 4K live stream.
Maybe with some cellular bonding, we could work out a live stream. It's in the works, honestly. It's in the works, and there'll be one soon, sometime.
Let's see here. Does
Isn't there one
Metro
already
T-Mobile...
for VPNs?
Yeah, for what?
Well, you could bond Wi-Fi and cellular at the same time through a VPN.
Yeah, there's a VPN called Speedify, and it works decent. It's not too bad.
So it says here, Robbie saying, does Metro / T-Mobile video, cap video, I'm getting 37 down on my home internet on my phone from Metro. I'm getting 2.5 down. Yes, on Metro they actually do. You have to pay the $10 feature to uncap your video.
So if you do want to see at least a 1440p live stream, if you go onto RFK Tech's YouTube channel and go to his lives and look for the Grand Canyon one, we actually streamed live. I brought my camera out there. I have a high-end professional camera, and we brought that out there and streamed live in 2K, basically. We did use a bonding solution out there, but it was only like 2 Verizon lines, but we were like 7-8 miles from the tower, and through the bonding, it was able to hold a really solid stream.
Over the river and through the woods to 2K we go.
But I don't know, guys. What do you think, man? It's time to wrap this up.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Let's wrap this up, man. All right, guys. We appreciate everybody for tuning in here to the SMT Sunday Nights podcast. Greatly appreciate y'all. And remember, on your way out, just hit that like or dislike button. You know, Sneed would greatly appreciate that. And also, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're always notified when SMT uploads content. And also, we need to put some hashtags over for the night. We're gonna put hashtag I don't know. You guys throw the hashtags out there. Come on, callers, everybody throw some hashtags. Let people know.
Hashtag late night. Hashtag late night crew.
And of course,
hashtag
replay crew.
Don't regress. Hashtag don't regress.
Hashtag 2 live crew. Hashtag help the bear. Hashtag save the bear. Hashtag late night crew. What is it? Hashtag ravioli gang.
Thinking about.
Oh snap! I'm forgetting some. Hashtag Telco Poppy and Telco Jesus and all the other ones.
All right, and also, guys, make sure to check the affiliate link down below for Mint Mobile. You know, you can save some money by using Sneed's affiliate link down below. So he always has it always in the description of his videos, and it helps you guys save money also and help support the channel. Thank you for all the buy me a coffee donations to Sneed. Greatly appreciate them, and also for the super chats of the nights, and also to the channel members and Patreon supporters. All right, guys. We're going to catch you in the next one. Thank you, callers, for tuning in. Thank you, Wes. Thank you, Austin. Thank you, everybody, EM Tech, everybody that came through in the panel tonight. And we're going to catch you guys in the next one. All right, guys? Peace.
All right. Peace.